Debates. Open your mind, your mind.
And so a community is where you control your beliefs, control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 million. 3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hit his sorry, look in the mirror and see this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God, he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. But all your billions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up a paper and read over and over? See white families now, they take thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families cry? That's like, oh, God, my love was funny. I put the back of the head. Why do you think black cops are make them more spiritual? I think that's what. No. They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna stop it. And I will stop in our neighborhood was we decide we were not tolerant. Now, if we were organized, which is hard to organize people who are just run crazy, and you don't run crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that any time a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop, or a store boy, or a private detective. Now, how do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take the economic power, and you call on your friends, black, white, young, and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas. It'll start on Thanksgiving. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happened now? Plastic Avenue, Georgia, Sears over, Western. They will get the deal, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, Mr. Senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad. The officer's code for one suspect has been shot.
Open your mind.
And we are back, peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper to Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses is here. Now, tonight, boy, I got a good one for y'all tonight, boy. I'm talking a good one. I got freaking brother Ramil Amyr, who I know all of you know. If you don't know who he is, get on down there and subscribe to the brother. He kicks some real good live game for you brothers. Versus Supreme King Coon. So y'all already know what it is. And tonight's topic, of course, you can see it running across the screen. What benefits us more, the family life or the old pump and dump? But y'all know, before we get started, as always, I come up here and I thank all of y'all, man. You know, y'all support this platform so much with your views, with your subscriptions, with your shares, your likes, and also your hard-earned coins. You don't have to do it, man. You don't. You know, especially times like now where everybody on quarantine and, you know, everybody trying to pinch pennies and you can't go nowhere, but y'all still watch these videos. Y'all still show up to these damn streams every week, and you still drop your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, 50-cent pieces, and dollar bills. Something you don't have to do, but you do it anyway. So I assume you see some type of value in watching this program and listening to this program. You see some type of entertainment value, and you also see some type of monetary value. And I want to thank all of y'all, man. I consider all of y'all to be my folks. Y'all are, you know, y'all have made this channel grow. The numbers are up. I can't believe it. My subscriber count is up. And I know it's all because of y'all, man. So once again, man, I just wanted to let y'all know, man, that I'm humble. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. And I don't say this to kiss y'all ass, because by now y'all know X do not kiss no ass. I say it because I genuinely mean it. Mentally, it's something great, man, with you good folks, man, the way y'all support this channel, man. And I just want y'all to know, man, that I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man, and I thank you. All right. All right. So let's get at it. But before we do that, it's a shame that I got to do this every goddamn week, but I have to give everybody a reminder of how we throw down here. First, fans of brother Ramil Amyr will not be disrespecting brother Supreme King Coon. Of brother Supreme King Coon will not be disrespecting brother Ramil Amyr. You are allowed to discuss, you're allowed to disagree, but you will not disrespect. Discuss, disagree, no disrespect. Because y'all already know how we do it. You might get one crazy sentence out before. Yeah. That's how we do it here. That is how we do it here. We don't fuck around. StreamBot is up and running. StreamBot will be watching your black asses too. So don't even try it. Don't even think it. Just enjoy the debate, man. Good debate tonight. Don't get your ass blocked. All right? As some of you may have noticed, I have unblocked some people. I went through it today, and there was a lot of people blocked and shit, and it's so many of y'all on the goddamn block list. It's like virtually impossible to unblock all of you. I will get around to it eventually, unblocking people that I feel should be unblocked. But I couldn't do them all today because I couldn't believe when I opened that shit. I was like, God damn. I mean, I don't know what y'all did, but cause see me, I don't be blocking folks. You know, that be my moderators in the stream bot. So I don't know what the hell y'all did or said, but they've been blocking the hell out of y'all. But I will get in there and unblock certain individuals. Okay. Okay. Now that we done got through all of that, let me bring in my folks. Brother Ramil Amyr. Brother Supreme. What's good with it, brother?
What's going on, man? What's up, man? Thanks for having me. What's good?
Absolutely. My timekeeper was in here, but he just dropped the hell out. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe his phone went dead or something. He was just in here. Okay, there he is. Because y'all know we always got to have a celebrity timekeeper. And tonight, celebrity timekeeper is the one and only Art Style. What's good with it, brother Art?
Oh, it's all what it is and what it is and what it is.
Well, I know y'all know the rules of the debate because y'all are returning contestants, but let me explain it to the folks who may not understand or know the rules. This is how we do the debates here, folks. We have 7-minute opening statements, right? Each debater gets 7 minutes to lay down their premise. Then after that, we go into something called the rebuttal round, and each debater has 5 minutes to rebut the other debater. We do that for a while, maybe take a little break, and when we come back, we go into something called rapid fire, where they will not be on the clock. They will be directly engaging with each other, mano a mano. We do that for a little while, and then after that, we do closing statements, and if the brothers have time, we actually take questions from the chat. All right? Now, tonight's debate is what benefits us more, family life or pump and dump. Brother S.K.C is on the family life side, and Brother Ramil Amyr is on the pump and dump side. We usually go against and for, but I don't even know how to do this. So do we flip a coin to go see who go first?
I'll give it to Ramil because everybody
actually,
says that he's undefeated. So I'll give it to the champ.
Well, I am undefeated, but actually I'll give it to you because all these debates I always go first. You know, every debate I always go first. You know, so I just I want to be courteous this time and let the opposition give his spiel first.
Well, I thought pump and dump. I thought pump and dump wasn't supposed to be courteous.
Yeah, to bitches, yes, to females, yes, but we're not courteous to them. But to my fellow man, I extend my heartfelt, gratitude, and I'm very courteous to you.
Okay.
Well, I mean the champ is giving it to me, so I guess I'll go ahead so we don't go back and forth.
Okay, works for me. Timekeeper, can I get 7 minutes on the clock, please, sir?
Okay. You may go. Y'all didn't hear me?
Okay, you ready? All right. Brother Supreme, you up.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I enjoy being on these type of debates and whatnot. When it comes to this subject matter, what is more beneficial? And then it says for us, one section says for our society, family life, or pump and dump. So first of all, we have to define what is us or our society. I'm not sure which one my interlocutor prepared for, but if he wanted to go with the whole thought of us being Black men and being the focus on Black men, I can do that. Or if he wanted to do the whole thought of the entire society of Black people, I think my debate points handles that as well. Concerning his idea of the pump and dump lifestyle, one thing that I've noticed about Ramil's points is that it tends to focus in on male accountability and men taking a more business like aspect towards life. I actually agree with that. And I think that men should look at life in a more business-like fashion and take away a lot of the emotional tendencies, particularly when making decisions that could put one in financial turmoil, over a long period of time. In order for individuals to do that, they need to exercise certain qualities. One that I think my interlocutor would approve of would be delayed gratification, not just going after anything that comes your way, but taking a more business-minded approach to saving, planning, building various things, either for oneself, if the argument is us, or for society as a whole, if he's talking about, as a society. This is very difficult within the Black community because delayed gratification is something that is almost anti-typical to how many of the families are set up in the first place. A lot of the men within Black America right now come from single parent households. If you look back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, one of the major aspects of caricatures of Black men was that of a pimp, a player, the whole Casanova role, that whole aspect. Even back in the 60s, you had the Temptations with the whole Rolling Stone aspect. So that was, in effect, the pump and dump lifestyle in certain ways. Now, I know that my interlocutor defines his strategy a little bit differently from what those men of old did. But when you look at both of those lifestyles, like the player, so forth, they share a lot of commonalities. I'm not going to say that they're exactly the same, but there are a lot of commonalities. On a lot of the channels that a lot of the individuals here that they frequent, one aspect of the millennial, some of the Gen X, and some of these Z-millennials, they note that a lot of the older Gen Xers, a lot of the older boomers mess things up for Black society by living the lifestyle that they did in a very selfish way, a way that they looked out for themselves first. They didn't pass down logical information down to the next generation, nor did they leave them with anything to build upon. They, in a lot of occasions, had put them to where they had to start from square zero, while others of their peers within American society were either, on square 1, 2, 3, 4, and on above. So I think in this debate, one of the things that I would like to show is how the pump and dump lifestyle has, again, commonalities with what the boomers were trying to, or did, to the individuals that are living now in Black America, men and women. So I know there's going to be a lot of points that we're going to go back and forth. I think that it's going to be important for the audience to look at the data that's produced and not to consider just emotional charges. And when I say that, I'm not just using that as some type of debate tactic to say, oh, people are just going to get emotional. No, I'm saying a lot of times when it comes to this idea of sex, really with men, there's this beating of the chest and, oh man, I did this, I scored this and so forth. Well, what I want to look at is how does that help you financially? how does that help you to grow as an individual? How does that help you to push forth either yourself or your quote unquote society? Now, do I actually believe?
Time.
Okay.
All right, that's going to be time. Timekeeper, can I get 7 minutes on the clock, please, sir?
Okay.
Brother Ramil, you up?
Okay, so yeah, that is a good point that he brought up as far as how this should be defined. What does he mean about who is it more beneficial for society or for us? Because I did approach this debate from a black male perspective. What is more beneficial for us, since that is the main demographic of this sector of YouTube? That is mostly who we are talking about. But if we want to, I guess we can switch it to the greater good of society. But until otherwise, I will come at this debate from the perspective of the black man. Okay, that's who I talk to on the internet. That's our main demographic. So with that being said, is what's more beneficial for the black man in America, particularly family life or pump and dump? Well, this is so easy, and this really shouldn't even be a debate. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and go at it. I mean, because to me, at this point, I thought it was common sense. But let's talk about it, okay? Marriage or even long-term relationships is the worst thing any upwardly mobile black man can get into in 2020. It is the worst thing ever. Okay, it is the highest. It's a very high risk for failure, and you don't get any benefits out of it. The only people who benefit out of black men going into the family life is the bitch and the ungrateful children that are being born and bred in this current generation. Okay. Look, man, children are an 18-year investment plus $250,000. All right. That is not a good investment to make right now when in 30 years, blacks are predicted to be at zero wealth by 2053. So any participation in the family life right now, literally you're breeding the future underclass. Okay. And I think that time, that 18 years and $250,000 should be spent on more things that can increase our power, such as buying land, businesses, shares in major corporations, establishing legal institutions. I mean, we can take a short break from procreation to get our shit together as black people, since expert economists, which you say you want to go into the data, which we will, predict that by 2053, blacks are going to have no money anyway. All right. And to prove that most of our energy needs to be put on building resources is that the CDC says black dads are involved in their children's life more than any other race of people. So why are black people still growing up fucked up? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because no matter how good of a father you are, because of the internet and social media and the ease of access to the internet, the culture is raising the children. And that's why you have these children who came from celebrities or even brilliant black people growing up to be fuck ups because they were raised by the culture instead of listening to the parents. Okay. Black men, one of the reasons why we cannot build wealth or attain power is because a lot of our resources are tied up in this non-productive family life, which is not producing productive citizens anyway. See, what black people really don't want to talk about is the fact that we need a form of population control. Okay, something that every other successful race has participated at some point in time in their existence, but we're scared to talk about that because of our morality and religious views and wanting to be righteousness. Well, that's not going to cut it if we're going to actually be successful. Some form of population control is going to be needed at some point or another. All right, and the focus is going to have to be on resources. Another thing, when you go into this family life as a black man, you are risking everything. The studies have already came out, and I will pull them up later in the debate, that women get bored quicker with their partners in many studies. I mean, they're more likely to walk out on you after being with you for 1 year because they want new dick. We've seen this play out in the public as far as Nicole Ari Parker, which just came out, Aisha Curry, and females just demanding attention despite of their husbands providing everything for them. Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? Okay. Another thing as well, man, their studies have came out recently that from the American Association of Sociology, which says people without children are more happy. Okay, you have more freedom to do what you want. You can practice self-actualization, take your money and invest it into things that you want to do without anybody on your back telling you how to spend your money. Okay, you can go up Maslow's hierarchy of needs because you don't have anybody else stopping your progress. If you do get into a relationship or get into marriage and you become upwardly mobile, we know that the female wants attention. She might sabotage what you got going on because now you will be the number one person in that duo. And we know that the females don't like to share attention. All right, so going down this path of family life as an upwardly mobile black man, just for 18 years and $250,000, just for thank you, daddy, thank you so much. If you get that, that shit is that the investment, the ROI on that is horrible. Okay, in 2020, the reason why marriage and family life is not working is because it's outdated. All right, it's outdated. It's an old concept. It's not needed because people don't need marriage and family life to survive in modern times. All right, it's a co-parenting agreement that's usually going down more, but living in the same house as a female when you guys have different life goals, that sets you up for failure. All right, see, women have adjusted to technology in this new market. They have a man for food, for dating. They have a man for fixing things. They have a man for fucking. They have because of the internet giving them access to so many people. They're using technology to make the best out of their lives, but men don't want to do the same because black men, something that we have a problem doing is adjusting to the new world, adjusting to the new way of doing things. You're trying to practice old traditional habits in a new world. And that's why we keep getting messed up in these courts. That's why we keep getting messed up, getting played, because we are not adjusting to the new way of mating. All right. Everything changes as time goes on. Technology changes, the way we work changes, mating has changed. Black men want to be stuck in the past. All right. The pump and dump lifestyle puts you at the forefront of life. It brings new people in your life more often. Just like you should be bringing in new money, new experiences. Females are part of that package as well. And when you want to settle down, you want to build a family, we live in a new world. Go the route of surrogacy, where you have your own full legal control of the children you bring into this world without having to go 50-50 with a hoe, like Drake said. So if you want to have a family, if you want to have children, the traditional family route is not the way to go. Pump and dump puts you in the best situation to keep your options open, keeps you financially free. And the statistics back it up. So I can't wait till we get into the numbers because married men, they get less sex. I mean, everything about being married is fucking trash. All right. And, you guys keep pushing this joint in 2020, putting your assets on the line.
That's time, fam. That's time.
Right. Yeah, there we go.
All right. We're going to the rebuttal rounds now, which are 5 minutes apiece. Timekeeper, can I get 5 minutes on the clock, please, sir?
Okay, go.
Brother Supreme.
I thought it was interesting that Ramil started by saying that this shouldn't even be a debate. I understand that some people feel that, it's non-debatable. But I think that when they look at statistics, there is a very large debate for them to look at. You stated from the aspect of society, you said that, Black people are at the very bottom, which I agree with. But then you said things like that they should invest and pass on and land and businesses and resources and not think about children. Okay, well, who are they going to give that stuff to? Secondly, you brought up a thought about, I guess, some entertainer and their, I guess, lifestyle. Again, when we go into the figures of married individuals, they make up such a tiny percentage of married individuals within the United States that it doesn't even make any sense to use a entertainer or even like a sports figure or a movie star or whatnot as a working model to look at. I think that's one of the problems within Black society is they continue to look at these individuals, these stars, as if their lifestyle or what happens within them is some type of predictor of greater society, which it is definitely not. Another thought, you stated that the lifestyle is outdated. I like to see how that plays out when we look at the figures of individuals in which you called upwardly mobile. And I also would like to get into the whole thought of how those individuals became upwardly mobile. And what are the differences between individuals that stay single versus the individuals that are married, who by percentage upwardly mobile? You also mentioned the whole thought of that you don't need to get married in order to survive. Yeah, you probably don't. But what I'm talking about is thriving, not surviving. So we'll look at those and compare if individuals just want to survive or if they actually want to thrive, and see what are the model for individuals who are thriving within this country and what they do in their lifestyles.
That's time.
Another thought, you used what I think a lot of people who
That's time. That's time.
All right.
It's time. Timekeeper, can I get 5 minutes on the clock, please?
Okay, go fam.
Brother Ramil, you up?
Yeah. All right. So it's funny you said, well, who are we going to pass the wealth down to? Well, you pass it down to organizations that you believe in, because obviously passing it down to your kids don't work anyway. Let's get into some numbers. 70% of generational wealth is lost by the second generation. This goes towards all races, because you cannot teach somebody else discipline and work ethic and money management. Okay, they have to really be willing to learn that on their own and sacrifice for themselves to learn that. That's why generational wealth is lost anyway. All right, and you want to talk about we shouldn't use entertainers as basis for examples because they're a small percentage of the population. Well, so are doctors, so are lawyers. We can't use entertainers as examples. Are they not people too? Does art not imitate life? Life not imitate art? Didn't the Me Too stuff start with the entertainers and it trickle down to us regular folks? I think entertainers are a great example to use, because all they are just regular people whose lives are on display to the world. All right, this is why these people like reality TV so much, because it just reflects their regular life in the first place. So I think that we can use those examples. And then when you talk about how do people become upwardly mobile, that's simple. They use their skills and their work ethic. The marriage has nothing to do with it. They've already acquired those skills and that mindset before they were married. That's the case. That's why the saying goes, "You wasn't with me shooting in the gym." All right, and we got to get over this misconception that being single means you just survive. No, you can thrive very well being single because your finances are freed up. Okay, your money's not going to other people. You're not feeding other people. You can actually do more thriving single than you can being married. And even though married couples have a higher income than being single, which I know you're going to bring that up at some point. Well, guess what? That doesn't account for when the divorce happens, which we already know that 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. Why are we going to take a risk that 40 to 50% is going to fail and you're going to end up losing all your assets to family court and to her through alimony and child support? Why would I take that type of a risk? All right, there's no justification for taking a risk that has a 40 to 50% failure rate, in which the only way you can win is dying to death do us part. That's the only way you win going down the family life in 2020, because you don't get the submission, you don't get the sex, obviously. What they say, 38% of marriages are sexless. You don't get the financial benefits because your wife's spending all your money anyway. All right, most wives control the household. That's a statistical fact as well. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, like I said, man, in 2020, if you're an upwardly mobile black man, there's nothing more valuable than your freedom, and there's no one female worth giving it up for. All right, so like you said, man, I don't know how, what are the tangible, what I can never get answered is what are the tangible benefits for a man to put his assets on the line in 2020 just for marriage? I can never get an answer for that, because you don't get a tangible benefit. They always telling you about the intangibles. I want to know about the tangibles, because ain't nothing worth giving up my freedom, not for 18 years, giving up $250,000, which is the average cost, just for a thank you, daddy, maybe. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to compete with the all-knowing culture to raise some kids, which ain't going to be shit anyway, especially when black people are going down in wealth. We want to talk about a rebuttal round, but you didn't rebuttal any of the points, man. Childless people are more happy. Black dads in their lives more, but still black people are growing up fucked up. Black people, wealth going down by 2053. All right? Black men not being able to invest because most of their wealth is going towards a non-ROI institution called family. The fact that women get bored quicker with their partner, all right, which has been studies done on that, all right, and you know the fact that you know we're so underrepresented in all these fields. Why are we going to create more of a population that's not producing? All right, you know the fact that 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. Where are the rebuttals to those numbers? We're gonna get into numbers. I mean, you know, that's my question. You know, the fact that women initiate majority of divorces, leaving the man hung and dry. All right. I mean, bro, like all of these things, that's what I'm curious about. All right.
All right. Timekeeper, let me get 5 minutes on the clock, please, sir.
Okay, you may go.
Brother Supreme, you up?
Sure. I'd like to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Well, first of all, a lot of times when you hear that statistic about
hold on a second, Brother Supreme. I don't see it. I don't see it on the board. It's not up here. Okay, there it is. Got you.
So first of all, when we see that figure, when people use that statistic talking about the failure of generational wealth, this is actually the study, not the I guess a Googled report that people like to use within news stories. This is the actual report. And it says the major cause of that is the breakdown of family communication and trust. It has the majority of it has nothing to do with kids not being having the skills or the motivation or anything of that nature. It actually has to do with communication breakdowns. And it's interesting that this study is actually coming from a a wealth a wealth transfer or organization. It's basically a map to show, hey, this is how you can better transfer your wealth by hiring us in order to help the communication work between your next generation. People use that, as a point, but they never actually read the report and went into depth about it. Another thing that my interlocutor brought up was the whole thing about looking at the numbers. Well, a lot of times people talk about millionaires and billionaires and those who are up in the upper stratus of making money, being upwardly mobile. Well, let's look at how the upwardly mobile actually live. Billionaires throughout the entire world, 85% of them are married. When we go to millionaires, of the 18.6 million millionaires that are in the United States, 86% of them are married. When we go over and we look at those who are upwardly mobile, that is of the middle and upper class, 56% of them are married. So it's only the individuals that when you start going into the poor and the working class that actually believe that staying unmarried is a viable option towards building some type of wealth. The majority of the wealthy people within America are married individuals who built their wealth through the traditional married family role. So this idea that people want to push on Black people and say, you know what, this whole thing of marriage and whole nine, that's an outdated model. Well, the model that actually works right now within some of the richest and most powerful people in the world is marriage. There is no statistic showing great groups of individuals who are unmarried who make it to the top or who even make it within the middle and upper class. They are the exception to the rule. Now, if you want to push the exception to the rule model to Black America, okay, throw to them another hoop dream. Do I care about it? No. Do I actually think that most people are going to go for the pump and dump thing? I do agree with that they will do that. And I actually want them to. That's why I have let it burn.
Time, fam.
All right. Timekeeper, let me get 5 minutes on the clock, please. Lost my time.
You may go now.
All right. Can I give?
All right. So it's crazy. You want to bring up a chart that's talking about why generation doesn't get passed down because it's lack of communication. Well, I think that goes hand in hand with what I was saying. You can't teach the children some things that need to be instilled to maintain wealth. Doesn't matter why it happens. It's the fact that it happens. 70% of generational wealth is lost by the second generation, regardless of the reason. It's the fact that it happens. And if it's because of communication, who's to say it's because the kids don't want to listen? I was just because they were spoiled. All right. So either way, the 70% of generational wealth is a legit argument, and it is a reason why you shouldn't be having kids to pass down wealth, because obviously 70% of the time is going to be lost. All right. So, I don't know where that came from. And then you want to keep talking about how most millionaires and billionaires are married. Well, first of all, most millionaires and billionaires are older people. They come from a different time and a different generation. All right. And what we keep on forgetting is that the marriage did not build the money. The skill set did. Okay. The time equity and the work ethic did. The marriage, for the most part, is just for an image. All right, powerful people married for an image. That's why they have mistresses. Okay, that's why they have other things going on. The marriage is just for an image, and that's why a lot of them are getting divorced. Hence Jeff Bezos. Okay, hence Steve Wynn. Okay, hence Bill Gross and Sue Gross. Hence Harold Hamm. Hence Patricia Disney and Roy E. A lot of billionaires and millionaires are getting divorced. Okay, the marriage was not created by the money. The marriage was just a tool to try to fuse the money to keep power going. But as we know, majority of marriages end in 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce anyway. So most of these millionaire and billionaire couples will be getting divorced if they already have not, according to the numbers. Okay, so once again, make this clear. People always want to say rich, wealthy people are already married. Did the marriage create the money, or did the skill set create the money? Which one is it? Because people can't seem to distinguish. Because if a single person gets wealthy, you can't blame that on marriage. Okay, the marriage does not create the money, and for the most part, that money is going to be split up when the bitch leaves you anyway. Just like Jeff Bezos made the richest woman in the world off a divorce. Okay, so once again, these wealthy people come from older generations. That's why a lot of them are mostly married. Okay, we're talking about people who come from before tech really took over. All right, so I don't understand why that is being used as an argument, because we have a lot of young millionaires coming up today, and they have no problem remaining single. All right, so on top of that, so if you have money coming in, if you're a single man and you're making money, I don't understand how is marriage going to make you more money? If I'm a single man, I'm already making money and I'm already doing my thing. How is getting married going to make me more money? It's going to take away money from me. Okay, it's going to take away money. It's going to take away money from supplying the needs of another human who's not giving me anything except maybe some sex, which I can get that without putting my assets on the line. All right, so once again, to rebuttal his points, millionaires and billionaires, the marriage does not make the money. They're already rich before they get married. And plus, most rich people right now are older people. Boomers have most of the money. On top of that, it doesn't matter why the generational wealth is not being passed down. It's the fact that it does not get passed down. There's no reason to be going into family life. If you want to pass your wealth down, go pass it down to an institution you believe in, or pass it down to other family members. Once again, man, things that are not getting rebutted. Childless people are more happy. And the CDC study with black dads are already involved in the child's life, and nothing's coming out of it. All right, I don't understand why should we not focus 100% on creating something before we get into breeding more? What black people don't want to do is we don't want to go down that population control avenue, because as people because of our morality reasons. But all successful races have practiced some form of population control at one point or another, and until we're ready to open up Pandora's box on that issue, we're going to keep failing. 2053, we're going to have no money. Why you want to breed the permanent underclass, man? You know, so I just don't understand where this is coming from. How much time I got left?
30 seconds.
Okay, so with that last 30 seconds, I would like to ask to share the screen real quick, if that's possible. If I can get my screen to be shared. Okay, so as we can see right here, man, I just want to bring you some studies as far as giving your all to a woman who's probably going to turn on you anyway. Well, first of all, this is the study right here. Does having children make you happier? Parents who say yes are probably lying. This is a report on how the research has concluded that people without children are way happier than people with them. And on top of that, we have another study right here saying that women get more bored of their long-term partners than men, which means you're taking the risk of her leaving you for a new dick. We'll break that down in the future. Yeah.
All right. That's going to be time. Can I get 5 minutes on the clock, please, timekeeper?
Okay. You may go.
Brother Supreme, you up?
Sure. I'll go ahead and share screen as well. But as I do so, I think it's interesting to note that in this debate so far, I was the one that produced the live numbers and data and raw data. In the two reports or things that Ramil showed, the first one, if you actually read it, it said that research suggests, not concluded. So you cannot conclude anything about happiness. Happiness is not quantifiable. It's not a number that can be put as a hard science. I gave you data. Now, the second one, I think that you misused because you used the Atlantic, and I read the Atlantic. It's the idea section. The idea section is an op-ed. It's not a study. It's an op-ed. So going back to what you were saying about the whole thing about the 70% of the people not being able to transfer the wealth. Again, what I was trying to share with you is that what that report is an ad for this company, BBH. They are an investment strategy company, and we're putting out an ad saying that out of the individuals that they studied within their group, which they got from the Williams group, of the individuals that they studied during this 25-year survey, I'm highlighting it there, that's what occurred. And the reason why it occurred is mainly because of communication breakdown. And that communication breakdown happened because they did not have an investor to help the next generation to understand how their parents invested their money so that the children can do the same thing. So the reason does matter a whole lot. Anybody that knows investing now understands that if you go into it blind, you are most likely to lose your money. So again, that's one of the reasons why it had nothing to do with skill. To go a little bit further, you said that wealth is not made by marriage. Now, it's interesting that you state that because you make it seem as though these individuals just got married on a whim or got married for some type of social status or whatnot. However, you didn't produce anything to prove that. It just came out of your mouth as if it's some kind of fact. So how do you substantiate that? Now, I'll go back to the whole thing with the millionaires because you said that they would just get divorced and that's how it is. Well, going right back there is, again, it says that 86% are married, including 65% who are still in their first marriage. That doesn't go along with the model of what you're talking about so far as 40 to 50% automatically going to get married and going to lose half of their wealth and so forth. No, the far majority of millionaires and billionaires, and even those within the strata of the upwardly mobile, which are $200,000 and more, remain married. It is the poor and the working class, who have the majority or the lion's share of the divorces within this country. And that's something that's not talked about. See, and I understand why that comes up, because if you come out of the Black community, we are a product of what people that we see and we entertain and are around the most. What do we see the most? A lot of divorces, a lot of broken families and so forth. It shapes our viewpoint. But if we don't work with other individuals who are outside of that strata, it's hard for us to understand how that could actually work, because we don't have that viewpoint. We've never seen it working in real time. If we look at the data proves that the working model for upwardly mobile people is marriage. It's no there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Going back to the whole thing here from the family study, again, 26% of the poor are unmarried. 39% of the working class are married.
That's time, fam. That's time.
To go up, people get married. There's a reason for that.
All right. Timekeeper, can I get 5 minutes on the clock, please, sir?
All right, so what's going on? So yeah, let me just do a screen share so we can break some things down. Please share my screen. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about when he keeps saying married people. Yeah, is my time going? Are we going? Hello. I'm gonna continue.
What happened?
I thought Art said something. Art said something about the time, but yeah, we can keep going. So is my screen being okay? So what I'm saying is, I don't understand why he keeps saying how what are you bringing up when we have CNBC telling you right here that being rich may increase your odds of divorce. One thing you just said is that I'm bringing up the idea section, the op-ed. Actually, no, I'm not. When I brought up the study about parenthood and happiness, that's actually the study of university professors, which is actually right here. We want to talk about how happiness is not quantifiable. Actually, yes, it is. People know if they are happy or not. Okay, that is people, just like you know if you're sad, just like you know if you're mad. People know if you are happy or not, and people reported that having children, they are less happy than they were before they had children, because people have the basic knowledge to understand life before children and life after children and make the comparative analysis. That was not the op-ed section. That was actually a report done by university professors from Wake Forest University, University of Texas, and the University of Iowa. Nothing I get was from the op-ed. Even the study I brought about how females get bored with the ideas with the other sex, as we can see, that's actually based on research and actual studies. Okay, this is not somebody that they wrote something in the ideas section. All right, this is actually a study done in Britain, which more than like 6,000 people pulled up. Matter of fact, hold on, let me pull up the based on the Independent. That was actually a study done right here by the British Medical Journal. Survey collected data from 4,839 men and 6,669 women aged 16 to 74. Okay, so these are not just idea section. These are based on real studies. I don't understand what you're talking about. It's actually done on a real survey in the British Medical Journal that women do get bored of the opposite sex first in long-term relationships. I don't want to take that risk, fam. I'm sorry, brother. All right. And as far as the other thing, you keep going back to this generational wealth thing and why it's not what it's based on. It doesn't matter what it's based on. You have NASDAQ telling you right here, brother, that it's 70% is lost. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, right here. NASDAQ telling you right here that 70% of generational wealth is lost. It can be because communication breakdown. It can be because of whatever. At the end of the day, investing and money making requires discipline. It requires a skill set. It requires patience, delayed gratifications. Those are things that you can't necessarily pass those things down, especially to somebody who's been spoiled. Okay, so I mean, bro, like if you're gonna pass down generational wealth, sometimes you have to go through the trial and tribulations yourself to learn how to manage money, something that just cannot be taught, man. This is why rich children lose the wealth, because they hadn't had to go through the trial and tribulations needed to maintain this shit, man. You got to go through some things to maintain things of value in today's life, man. So with that being said, man, I don't understand why you keep bringing down the reasons. The reasons don't matter. The fact is the wealth is going to be lost 70% of the time. And then to make things worse, The third generation, 90% of the wealth is lost. Okay, so I don't understand, why you keep saying it's a good investment. You're better off investing your money into charities, into organizations that you believe in, because obviously you keep talking about the numbers. I'm bringing up stats as well. So at the end of the day, people are going to have to make an informed decision on what's best for them. And family life for a black man in 2020 does not have a high return on investment. All right, it doesn't. It's already been proven that the black men pay the most child support. The divorce rates, the losing their assets and divorce court. I don't understand how we're making an argument as far as what benefits black men more, pump and dump versus family life, when it's clear as day. Investing your life for a female and a possible children, the man doesn't win, man. There's no benefits into that, man. So I don't understand where we at with it, man. Once again, economists telling you. All right.
I think that bell means it's time. We got the bell now?
I got to go on my computer, my phone.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me get 5 minutes on the clock, please.
All right, here we go.
Brother Supreme, you up.
Sure. And this is like some of the things that I'm talking about when it comes to, and I hate to say it, the community. In the community, we know that in the community, black boys, we're not readers. We are not readers. We're individuals that like to put thoughts or just read headlines instead of actually going into the data of different things. If you read here, it says here, it's estimated. And then if you go down to the very bottom of this report from NASDAQ, which it is not, it says the views and opinions expressed here are the views and opinions of the author and do not reflect those of NASDAQ Inc. So trying to produce an article from NASDAQ to try to prove that, oh man, this has some type of substantiability because it has the NASDAQ title on it, but actually not reading the article. That's one of the problems that we face in the Black community. Now, the actual study that I showed at the very beginning, because I actually prepared for this and I knew that Ramil was going to use this. This is the actual study that author was using in that NASDAQ article. I hope everyone goes and looks at it for themselves and actually reads it. Because in that article, and I read it, several things that I highlighted throughout, it's going to show to you that this is their views as a trusted advisor, not all of the, it is not based upon all of the rich people that have ever been within the United States. No, it is only based upon their study within their firm, which they gave, and NASDAQ placed within that as an op-ed. Again, we have to be better than this, people. And I want Black people to think about this, that why are you taking the advice from people who come from the strata of the broke when you look at what the rich people are actually doing? If you actually want to become one of them, you would follow not only their books about how they do business and so, you would actually look at how they set up their family life as well. Again, I show you the statistic. 86% of all millionaires married. When it comes to billionaires, 85% of them are married. That's not by some type of coincidence. It's not some type of thing of, oh, it looks good on paper. No, these people are smart and they do it for a reason. Another stat that we'll bring up later that I want to show is that the majority of these millionaires and billionaires, and also those within the upper strata of the six-figure income earners, have been married for over 20 years or more. So it wasn't some instant decision of, oh, I just want to get married now for this status symbol. No, a lot of those marriage mates that they picked were individuals that helped them to build the type of lifestyle that they had. And they built this over a long period of time. A lot of people want you to believe that millionaires just pop up and they just get this great idea and then they're millionaires overnight or over a few years. No, the majority by far build it over several decades. How much time do I have left?
Yeah, 53 seconds.
Now, I know that doesn't sound very sexy to a lot of people within the community and so forth, because hard work, dedication, consistency, actually having to communicate and build something with someone else, even wealth, that's not something that the community and the family units that are within them teach to their children. So obviously they would want to reject that as a working model for success. I'll cede the rest of my time.
All right. How much time did you have left, Brother Art?
24 seconds.
Are you seeing that to Brother Ramil? You want to give that to Brother Ramil? All right. I guess we get.
He got some explaining.
Oh, ouch. Well, give him 5:24 on the clock, please, timekeeper.
Yeah, 5:24. Right up.
You know, it's crazy. He said I can't use a article published on NASDAQ, a financial website, just because it says at the bottom, it doesn't necessarily reflect the views, meaning that actually it could reflect the views or it could not. You don't know. And then you want to talk about in the study, they want to talk about it was only based on people that they use in their firm. Hey, you want to talk about people who don't read. Let me educate you on something. There's no study ever that includes everybody that's the subject of the study. Okay, it's called a representative sample. Okay, you take samples of people of a similar profile and you use that to represent the population. You said the study is not valid because they didn't take account of all the rich people in the United States. Well, no study takes advantage of all the possible test subjects for a study, man. It's called a representative sample, and statistics, according to statisticians, that is okay to use representative samples to make it basis on the general population. That's why we have that. Okay, so to say that because they didn't cover all rich people, that does not make the study invalid. Okay, so yes, I did read, and that once again, it came from a NASDAQ website, which is based on finances. So I think it's very valid and it's very legit to use. And also, you said that most of these millionaires and billionaires, they were married for what, 20 years or more? That just came out your mouth. Once again, what does that tell you? They came from a different time. Okay, it came from a different generation where they could build something together because maybe people were more sound. The internet wasn't that prevalent. You didn't have access to a lot of people. We're talking about now. Okay, right now it is not in your benefit because people are spoiled and they have access to too many people. And you just said it yourself. Most millionaires and billionaires have been married, been married over 20 years. Well, they're not coming from this generation. They're not coming from this day and age. They're coming from a whole nother time period. Okay, so you can keep pointing that out. So you just said the minority of millionaires who have been married is under 20 years, right? So what you're saying is that if majority of them haven't been married for 20 years, once again, they're coming from a different generation. All right, black men now in 2020, it's not good to go down that path. You're not going to build anything long-term with the people of today's culture because of the microwave age. All right, first of all, the numbers already say it's against you. And second of all, it's just not a bad investment. It's not a good investment. All right, you want to talk about people who building things for 20 years or longer. If I was in something for 20 years, I'd be reluctant to leave it as well. But the fact is, marriages are not lasting that long. The amount of marriages are declining. And in this day and age with technology, you don't have to be married to build wealth. And you keep saying, follow what rich people do. Well, follow what rich people do who were born in another generation before the technological boom. All right, because a lot of rich people now are having less children. All right, they're conserving more of their money. They're saving their cash, right? So I don't understand. If you want to follow the rich people, have less children. All right, and in this day and age, marriage is declining anyway amongst all classes. All right, so I can't follow what somebody did 20 years ago. It's a whole new day and time. All right, it's a whole new day and age. All right, so what are the millionaires who became millionaires in this generation? What are they doing? Not what the people did 20 years ago. They finna die soon. All right, so right now, as we can see with the way females are acting, which we all want to, if you're going to get married, you want a bad chick, right? You want a beautiful looking female, right? Well, the females of those caliber across the world, thanks to feminism, thanks to everything else, it's not a good. They're not built for long-term mating. And a man doing that in 2020 because billionaires and millionaires built something 20 plus years ago, it's a bad decision in 2020. That's wanting to stay. That's what I was just talking about. Black men not wanting to get up with the times. Like I said earlier, these millionaires and billionaires, most of them are older people on their way out. They're older people. Okay, so we're talking about what should black men do now? What's best for the future? All right, family life is out. Have we already? How many men on child support in the chat? How many men going through divorce proceedings? I mean, it speaks for itself. You're better off staying single, focusing on yourself, building wealth, and when you want to have children, do it through the surrogate route so you can avoid legal troubles. That's the logical way to do it. And there's no amount of reports or numbers that you can put out that's going to go against a man being logical with his time and resources in 2020. There's no return on investment with this family lifestyle. And right at this day and age, it's just too risky. You're risking everything for the chance of a legacy, which you're supposed to be building on your own anyway. Nobody remembers Michael Jordan's sons because they were weak. Michael Jordan's legacy lives forever because of what he accomplished. Whether he had kids or not, people are going to remember Michael Jordan, not his weak-ass sons. All right, our money's going down. Black wealth will be at zero in 30 years. Any child you have today is going to be part of that underclass. Because we're not focusing on producing and resources, we're focusing on trying to procreate, which is what always we focus on. Fucking and procreation. And not focusing on resources because we don't want to take the time off to actually handle that battle, which every race does at some point in time in their success. They worry about producing. They take a break from that shit. All right, so I don't understand why we find that such a
all right. This is going to be the last round. But before we do the last round, I have to come up here and I look at these numbers down here. The likes and the viewers are not matching. I got 184 of y'all in here, but I only got 105 damn likes. Why must we go through this every week, folks? You obviously like what you're seeing because you're in here. Hit the damn like button. It only takes a second. Come on. If you don't like me, you got to like Brother Ramil. If you don't like Brother Ramil, you got to like Brother Supreme. If you don't like him, you like my goddamn timekeeper, Art and Style. Yes, hit the goddamn like button. Damn it. All right, this is our final round before we go to the break. Can I get 5 minutes on the clock, please, timekeeper?
Coming right up.
Brother Supreme, you up.
Sure. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm trying to share my screen, X, that Ramil keeps making a statement saying that, marriage is down regardless of whoever you are. And it's a good thought. However, it goes to that whole viewpoint of where you come from. A lot of people within Black society are coming from this right here. This is what they see every day, in and out. Only actually it's less than this now because this is 2018, but the number is right about 29% now. And then all of these baby mamas and broken families and so forth. However, in the rest of society, we don't see it like that. For instance, in the Asian society, you see 85% of the entire population that has children married and having children grow up in a 2-parent household. And then people wonder why they're so successful. Again, the same thing with other cultures. Ramil has made these same arguments on other debates when he talked about how Hispanics are doing much better, owning homes and so forth. Well, why is that? Because some of that has to do with them coming from 2-parent households. The same thing would occurs, of course, within white society as well. He stated that I'm using old statistics from a generation that doesn't exist anymore. Well, let's look at what's actually going on within the last, I don't know, 20 years. In all of these groups, the individuals that stay the least married, black here, right at around 30, 39%. As we go further into 2020, it's going to hit down to 29. But what is everybody else doing? Something totally different and better. And that is why you will see better growth when it comes to finances, homes, transfer of wealth, and so forth. This right here, if you just link it with how people are making their money in the United States, these different groups show you by their being married from two-parent households where their socioeconomic status is. I'm showing you statistics. I'm showing you data. You're giving me things about how you feel about stuff. Oh, this is opinion about, these are old folks and stuff and stuff. No, this is right now. The data that I sent you earlier concerning the billionaires, that was 2015. That's right now. Those are billionaires right now. So to put this whole thing of, oh, we're talking about people that are, some age of the boomers. No, a lot of those individuals are within your generation, the millennial generation, and they have chosen the married route because they know the value of it. And they know that even when you start getting into different things, such as trying to climb the social ladder and to make business moves and operations within any field that you are, that having a working marriage helps you to be able to grow with others who have those as well. Even CEOs, when they get chosen as CEOs in many instances, get chosen based upon them having a family, because a family is looked upon as being more stable. They know that that individual is going to stay with the company for the long run because they are invested in having and maintaining a family. Those individuals can have the ones that are underneath them to look up to them because they understand that, oh, that's a family man too. He understands what I'm going through. So to push it off as though it has no financial meaning whatsoever is an asinine thought. But I understand where it comes from. It comes from, again, coming from this model here. This is what Black people see every day. 70% of the people within their society not married. This is what Asian people see. Only somewhere between 17 to 15% unmarried, and so forth. So when you come from these different perspectives, you're going to have people that are going to approach the world, finances, life with a different perspective. And we need to understand that as Black people, Black men, that our perspective is jacked up. It's suited for failure within this country. And for one to say that they have the key to everything coming from this type of viewpoint and not understanding these viewpoints, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? How are you going to tell the master that you know better? That doesn't make any sense. We have too many working models within this country to show that if you want to maintain and build wealth within it, that you would want to be one of the ones that follow this pattern of moving up in the world. And that up requires marriage.
All right. 5 minutes on the clock, please.
Okay, so he keeps saying what Black people see is how this growing up. I just want to address that because I don't know if he's applying that's what I saw or not, but I am the product of married people, so I've seen marriage firsthand. My parents were married when they had me, And so I just want to make that clear. I'm not coming from a perspective of seeing the baby mama, baby daddy stuff. I'm coming from the perspective of logic, and I'm coming from the perspective of numbers. Okay, now here's the thing. You want to talk about other cultures and how they are maintaining what they have. Well, they're doing that because of the culture, not necessarily marriage. Okay, most of these Latinas and Asians who are surpassing us in the culture, they're not even getting a basic marriage certificate. They're just staying together, and they have a culture of patriarchy. 30 people living in the house, and nobody moves out till everybody has a business. Okay, there are other practices at hand than the state-sanctioned marriage. And it's just, you could just share my screen real quick, because he wants to talk about about the marriage rates amongst people. Okay, if I can get a screen share going on. All right, the truth of the matter is, it's the reason why marriage rates are dropping. Okay, this is on PBS.com, and the graph is coming from the Center of Disease Control's National Vital Statistics Systems. As you can see, the marriage rates are dropping for a reason. So I don't know what you're talking about, what people are doing, and you want to talk about, what's going down. At the end of the day, people of all classes on the aggregate in America, marriage rates are dropping because it is not necessary for human survival, and it is a waste of time. These females have figured it out, and that's why they're getting you guys, getting the bag, securing the bag, because y'all believing in something that's not real. All right, you guys keep getting married, but obviously it's shown to not work, and it's the reason why the rates are dropping according to the Center of Disease Control. I don't understand. What are you talking about? What other people are doing? The fact is, marriage rates are dropping for a reason. And once again, you keep talking about the statistics on the billionaires because it came out in 2015. You said it yourself. These are older people. So the generation that came out, the data that comes out in 2015 is just a reflection of something that was going on for the past 20 years. Like you just said, most of them have been married for 20 years or longer. So that data that came out is a reflection of the trends of how they got there, which was working towards it for the past 20 years. So that data is not, the data is new, but it's based on something that's been occurring for the past 20 years. We cannot determine what today's generation of millionaires and billionaires are doing because not enough time has passed for people of my age to make a very broad study like you can on older generations of wealthy people, because there's more of them. Most of the money's in the boomer generation. So we're actually going to have to wait to see. All right. But as we can look at the numbers currently, what's happening this year, not something that took 20 years to build. Marriages this year are being dissolved with the man getting screwed majority of the time. All right. So, you said being upwardly mobile requires marriage. Well, if it requires marriage, then you still got to explain the number of single people who are upwardly mobile, who live in their best life, who are financially free. If you just said it requires marriage, then you got to explain the single people who are making that happen. And let me tell y'all right now, man, you are not a failure just because you don't want to be married. All right. Nothing's wrong with you. I know society tries to tell you being single is bad. It's actually a very good thing. And people just don't like seeing other people with the freedom. All right. Despite the fact that we know marriage is a huge risk based on the numbers, the divorce rates, the family court statistics against the men, people still want you to risk your assets and to risk everything for something that's, the numbers say, is probably not going to be successful. All right. So you guys, if you want to play with the generational wealth statistics, the fact is that the study's out and that's actually accepted across the board with a lot of economists. So I don't understand, why, he says, I don't read, I don't do anything. He wasn't the only one who provided statistics. I definitely provided some as well. It's just at the end of the day, if both sides provide statistics and numbers, you got to use your best judgment. What's going to work better in your interest, your individual interest as a man? Taking on a female and risking her happiness and your wealth to coincide with that, or taking it all in your hands and being in full legal control of your destiny. The fact is, once you get married, other people have legal control over your life. And as a black man, that's the worst position you can be in, to have somebody else have any sort of legal control over your life when you're already in the system that wants to get at your neck anyway. Why make it easier for them? Why make it easier to get the police called on you and get put out your house? And now you got this female staying at your house while you in jail at a hotel. Why make it easier for people to garnish your wages at some point in your life and destroy everything you've built? Why make it easier? It takes a lifetime to build a man. It takes one mistake to break him. Why make it easier?
All right, that's going to bring the rebuttal round to an end. Good shit, fellas. Good shit, my brothers. Good shit. We're going to take a little short break, about 5-6 minutes. I'm going to play a little music. But before I do that, of course, I have to get on my audience. I'm looking at these numbers again. I got 205 of y'all in here right now. Why the hell only got 134 likes? At least the 5 people who disliked had enough energy to hit a damn button. Now I got 200 of y'all up in here. Can I at least get a goddamn like? It's not like I'm asking you to give me your damn stimulus check. I'm asking you to give me a like. It only takes a second. Just grab this thing here. See it? It's called a mouse. Move it right on over to that like button. Click, and you're done. That's it. That's it. You must like this debate because your black ass is in here. Show some love to the brothers. Hit the like button for me, please. Come on. Now, we're going to take a little break. We're going to play a little music. When we come back, we're going to be doing rapid fire. Now, rapid fire, I know y'all are always waiting for that. This is where the brothers go mono with no clock. All right? All right. And if you're feeling generous, hit that Cash App if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, feel free to hit it. It will receive your money. I will see y'all on the other side of this here break.
Operate and control the economy of our community. You would never you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you niggas don't have sense enough to look out for yourself. The white man is too intelligent to let someone else come and gain control of the economy of his community. But you will let anybody come in and control the economy of your community. Control the housing, control the education, control the jobs, control the businesses. Under the pretext that you want to integrate. No, you're out of your mind. Political and economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled, misguided, are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become rundown. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a rundown community. Why, you run it down yourself when you take it out. And you and I are in a double track. Because not only do we lose by taking our money someplace else and spending it, when we try and spend it in our own community, we're trapped because we haven't had sense enough to set up stores and control the businesses of our community. The man who's controlling the stores in our community is a man who doesn't look like we do. He's a man who doesn't even live in the community. So you and I, even when we try and spend our money in the block where we live or the area where we live, we're spending it with a man who, when the sun goes down, takes that basket full of money in another part of the town. So we're trapped, double track, triple track. Anywhere we go, we find that we're trapped. Every kind of solution that someone comes up with is just another track. But the political and economic philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism shows our people the importance of setting up these little stores and developing them and expanding them into larger operations. Woolworth didn't start out big like they are today. They started out with a dime store and expanded and expanded and expanded until today they're all over the country and all over the world, and they're getting some of everybody's money. Now this is what you and I
General Motors, the same way it didn't start out like it is. It started out just a little rat race type operation. And it expanded until today is where it is right now. And you and I have to make a stop. And the best place to start is right in the community where we live. So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to ignorantly, disgracefully boycotting and picketing some crack or someplace else trying to dig in for a job. Anytime you have to rely upon your enemy for a job, you're in good shape. He is your enemy. Anytime you wouldn't be in this country if some enemy hadn't kidnapped you and brought you here. On the other hand, some of you think you came here on the Mayflower. So as you can see, brothers and sisters, today, this afternoon, it's not our intention to discuss religion. We're going to forget religion. If we bring up religion, we'll be in an argument. And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway.
My bad, y'all. I was doing something. We're back. Yeah. So now we go into what y'all all been waiting for. We're going to go into the rapid fire round, where the brothers go mano y mano. No clock, no nothing. And for the before we get started, for the people in the chat, and I'm tired of explaining this to you damn Negroes, this is the last time I'm going to do it. I don't wear do-rags. I'm too old for goddamn do-rags. Everybody, oh man, OG, he got on a do-rag. I'm too old for that shit, all right? And first of all, I got 17-inch hair. So why in the hell would I be wearing a do-rag? This is called a lock sock. I have many of them. I've been wearing them for quite some time. See that? See all that? That's hair. It's not fur. It has a little hole in it for my dreads to come out the back of. So it is not a do-rag, you goddamn Negroes. It is called a lock sock. If you want to know where to get them, hit me up. I can tell you where to order them from. All right? All right. So don't put that shit in the chat no more. I'm going to block your ass if you do. Anyway.
That can be a kung fu weapon.
Now then, that we've cleared that up. Now it's time for rapid fire, where the brothers go mano y mano. We left off with Brother Ramil. So, Brother Supreme, you are up. Brothers, pull the trigger.
Oh, wow. Again, I don't even know really where to start on this, because there's just so many inconsistencies. I like Ramil. He's a cool dude. He has great content on different things. But I was really expecting to really see some raw numerical data, because so far tonight, the only thing that I've seen is that one article from NASDAQ, And in it, I showed where his source material came from and why it said what it said. He never even read where it came from.
We understood that it was a representative sample, which most studies use. It was based on what the firm accumulated based on people they interviewed. If NASDAQ picked up the article, obviously it has some sort of merit, and there's nothing wrong with using articles using representative samples. That's all I did. And it still stands. No matter what the reason is, 70% is lost. You can say it's because of communication breakdown, whatever the case, it's lost. I don't understand what you're trying to point out by you. And then on top of that, you said I didn't bring on numerical data. I brought up the studyiness on the happiness. I brought up the studyiness showing that females get bored of their sexual partners. I did bring data.
Where's the numerical data on happiness?
I put up the report based on the study from University of Texas, and here you go.
Sure.
I'll put it up again.
Show me the numbers. Put it up again.
Okay.
And in that article that you're saying that it doesn't matter, again, it was an ad for them, an advertisement showing that this is what they suggest. It was not conclusive by any means. It is impossible for one firm to look at the aggregate of rich individuals and to tell them how their generational wealth transfer happens. What they were saying is that this is ours, this is what we suggest, and you need to hire us in order to fix that problem, which we can.
So if it was if
they can fix the problem, how is it just going to happen then?
Period. Okay, once again, why would NASDAQ? Let's look at the author of that study. Okay, all right, because you keep talking about it's based on the advertising.
Hold on a second.
What's up?
Do you want to share this, brother?
Yeah, Ramil? I want to show this real quick about the happiness.
You want to share this?
We share it real quick because he's jumping around happiness. I actually put the link in the chat as well. This is the paper, that is based on. They took this survey in 22 countries, America included. It's called Parenthood and Happiness: Effects of Work Family Reconciliation Policies in 22 OECD countries. Jennifer Glass, University of Texas, Austin.
We can read all that. Let's go down to methodology.
So it's a long report, and like I said, background is based on all these studies you see here: parental status differences, emotional well-being.
All of that. I know how studies are set up. Let's go to the methodology. Did you? And I also want to ask: did you read this?
I read. I skimmed through it. I did not have to read it all the way because I got the gist of it. And the gist of it is, it says people report.
Is that how logical research works? Just through stuff.
Well, if you read every page of everything ever written, you won't get anywhere. Even the most
why not
accredited? Even the most accredited people are not going to read 1,000 pages of some shit that you can literally use common sense to. Of course, people who have less who have less use of their control of their money. Of course, people who have to put other people first. Of course, it would make sense that they're not happy as the person who's free.
So believe that. So you believe that presenting information before an audience that you want to believe that you shouldn't have to read the entire article, that you could skim over.
I read the entire article. I didn't read
the gist of what it says.
I read the entire article. I didn't read the entire actual study that the article is based on. I read the article.
So that seems like very piss poor research because
how would it be piss poor research?
As far as the NASDAQ, I went and research for it and read the entire article for that.
But it's not the article summing up the study for you?
No, it's not. It's actually.
Then why would they write the article if it's not summing up the study?
Because they only used a portion of the study in order to push an idea.
No. But the idea. But you have not
the real study. The real study.
But you have not
the idea that
you have not disproved the idea. Disprove the idea. You're talking about the reason why the wealth is not passed. Disprove the idea that 70% is being lost. Are you talking about why it's being lost?
And before we go back and forth and jump, because I want you to be able to use both studies. I'm not going to try to jumble this up. The Parenthood and Happiness thing. Let's stay there right quick. You show me the numbers that you said that you could prove. Show me the numbers.
Okay. Once again, we're gonna go back. You say you want to go show you the numbers? Okay, let's
show me the money. You said that you're a logical, business-minded guy. If you were in a before some investors and trying to pitch an idea or to push a business model, you would have to show the numbers. You cannot just go in there and tell them, "Hey, I just read this study and here's the gist of it."
Okay, so
lives here.
Okay. So when I show you, if I show numbers that are saying that this is based on the study, saying that people with children are less happy,
you just prove what you stated.
Okay, here we go.
I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything.
Okay. Putting the study up is not enough. Hey, putting the study up is not enough, but we can go read through the whole study if that's what you want to do. I mean,
All I'm asking you is to prove what your model, what you say that your model says. Why is that not enough?
No, it is enough. I mean, if you guys want to search for it, go right ahead. But here we go right here. I got you, brother. Here we go. I got you, brother. They would say, "Get out of here, Ramil." I got you, brother. Here we go. That study I just brought up. Finally, a study published in the American Journal of Sociology looked at 22 organizations for economic cooperation and development countries, compared the association between parenthood and happiness. Hold up. And they found that non-parents reveal higher levels of well-being in most advanced industrialized societies. That's what it's saying.
This is what somebody.
Hold on. I got you. Let's keep going.
You had the actual study.
Yeah. But
I'm asking you to go to the methodology section of the study, which every study has, and show me the numbers.
Okay. Even though I showed you what it's about. Look, let's break that. Let's go through this 50-page. All right. Let's look at it right here. Abstract. In contrast to widespread cultural beliefs that parental improves the health and happiness of adults, research finds that parents report lower levels. Hold on, brother.
I'm actually helping you, Ramil.
Bro,
I know what
I got you.
If you want to push control,
I'm getting to the methodology. That's the saying. We're getting to it. We're getting to it.
Right to the numbers.
Look.
I'm trying to help you here.
Let's get the gist of it.
How black people.
I'm trying to show you, brother, but you're not letting. Let's start. Okay. Let's get it. So the research found that parents report lower levels of emotional well-being than non-parents in many developed countries. Okay. Now under here, right, it says our analysis revealed that the parentalhood gap in happiness is greater in the U.S. than in 21 OECD countries in our sample, which means they took a sample. They also indicate that larger disparities between parents and non-parents are due to less generous family policies, especially subsidized child care and paid leave. Our results shed light on the macro level causes of micro level emotional processes and have important implications with public safety. So I just read that to show you that they did take a sample. Now let's go to methodology, like you said, which is
it's going to be near the end, near the results, right before the results of a study.
I typed it in, it didn't pop up, but maybe they have it labeled under a different name. See this long ass bibliography I'm going past.
No, go right before the if you go right before the bibliography, that is going to be the conclusion.
Yeah, I'm saying we got to read all the bibliography too. Here we go. This last one is about here. Is this the one you're talking about? You want to read through this one? Which one you want to read through?
I just want you to show me the numbers. That's all I'm asking for.
No, because you asked for the methodology.
If we were in a business meeting, Ramil,
you talking about the methodology, or
allow you to read an abstract?
Hold on, you're talking about the methodology.
The numbers.
Okay. Once again, man, look.
You're a businessman. I don't understand how you don't grasp this.
No, I do grasp it. What I'm saying is that I didn't
show me the numbers, man.
Okay, so once again, even though I showed you that this is what the study concluded,
let's break it down further.
Let's break it down further. Yes. Okay. And just like what I did, and just like what I did show you numbers on the marriage rates dropping, you said that wasn't valid because you put up some article about children. But when I did actually show numbers for one of my stats, you disregarded it anyway.
Why are you?
But let's talk about it right here. Let's talk about it right here.
Numbers because that you just stated about happiness.
I showed you what sociologists are telling you. Okay.
Okay. So you can't show me the numbers then.
No, I can't. I don't want to go through all of this right now. I'm taking the word of a yes.
Because it agrees.
You see, as you can see right here, look at the variables they use to come up with this. Dude, I'm not finna. If you want to go through this, that's what their expertise at this for. They're experts at this. They're experts at this to do that. If you want to go through these numbers, you go right ahead. Each variable represents.
Bro, if we were in a business meeting, would you actually show this on the screen?
This is not business. We are talking about what makes more
this
logical
is
sense
business.
for.
You said life is business.
What makes more sense for a man to do?
Is that
what
black
makes
men
more
should
sense for a man to do
with a business-like
yes,
mentality.
and
I'm asking you as the teacher, show me the numbers, business.
I showed you what sociologists have said. That's what I showed you. Now, if you want to see numbers, let's look at numbers. Marriage rates are dropping.
Okay,
there goes some numbers right there.
Isn't showing me
what. Want to see more?
Show me the money.
Okay, but we use the sociology. But you said life. Okay, I'm showing you the money. The fact that you should not be getting married and risking your assets. That's money enough.
Oh my God, you haven't showed me nothing, man.
I'm using logic and common sense, and when I do show you something, you're trying to disregard what I do show you.
Your logic is not congruent with the study that you're showing.
Yes, it is. The study is saying that you're happier without children.
And where's the numbers on it? Just show me the numbers.
The numbers is in this long ass report, and it's look at these variables.
Look at these equations.
I told you, I said that from the jump. I said I read the article.
Tell them that you wasted our time.
No, I didn't waste your art. I didn't waste your time. I showed you what the sociologists said. I showed you what the sociologists are saying. No, because look at the variables that they're using. Once again, they're using variables based on each one representing something different. If you want to go through the equations yourself and figure out the methodology based on their equations, go right ahead. I'm summing up what they said.
But they still should show you the numbers.
And according to you, it should be go to the methodology. They don't even got a methodology part. They're just showing you the equations they use based on the survey they took within the 22 different countries. And that's what I'm showing you what they concluded. I showed you what they concluded.
So you can't prove what they said.
No, actually, look, the report. Look, first of all. No. Yeah, I'm going to agree with what common sense. I'm going to agree with common sense.
Like the student at the chalkboard.
If you want to, first of all, look, man, look. If y'all want to go through the numbers, it's at the bottom of the report. It's at the bottom of the report. Look at the numbers at the look. If you want to look at the numbers, look at the bottom of the report. You can go through all of it yourself. It's right here. Hold on, bro. It's on the screen, man. It's on the screen. Look at the numbers yourself. You want to go through it, go through it. This is why I didn't show it up, because look at no. I'm saying if you want to go through the charts,
believe it, do it yourself.
Look, if you want to go through the charts, the numbers are here for you. If you want to do that. If you want to go through the numbers, but I'm saying it's easier for me to bring you the conclusions, because if you want to go through the variables yourself, go ahead.
But you're up here trying to teach people to make life decisions, and you can't even prove the numbers yourself.
Okay, but are these not numbers in front of your face? Are these not numbers in front of your face? So if you want to go, once again, if you want to go through it and analyze that data, go ahead. I thought it would be easier for me to bring the conclusions. If you want to go through the charts and plug the numbers into the variables for the equations that they came up, go right ahead. I'm not doing that shit. I'm going to read the conclusions. And if you want to go and plug the numbers into the variables, go right ahead. I'm telling you what the sociologists concluded. People without children are less happier. That's just what they concluded. Don't be mad at me for bringing you the message. If you want to analyze the data, the report's right here. Plug in the numbers in the variables yourself.
I will do that. I will.
Okay, go right ahead. That's all I'm saying, man. I brought the report. You see, I didn't show anything. I showed. I mean, what's up, man?
Now, next report, you were saying the whole thing about the marriage rate going down, right?
Yes, here it is, right here. Another one.
Okay, so show your numbers, and then I'm going to prove why your numbers are incorrect.
Okay, so you got to prove that to, according to this chart, the Center of Disease Control's National Vital Statistics System. Don't you want to be proving me wrong? You're going
right. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how you are misusing the data.
Okay, well, show me how I'm misusing the data, because it says right here, marriage rates are dropping. It's already on. I've been sharing, man. I've been sharing. The screen been sharing, man. It's been up there. Been up here, man. Just like the whole time. So you go ahead and, like I said, if it's numbers versus numbers, at the end of the day, people are going to have to use their best judgment.
And again, before we go forward, what are you saying that this report is saying?
That the marriage rate is dropping in America.
Okay, go up to the top of it.
Why are fewer people getting married? Jay Zikorsky to Ohio State University. What else would you like to see? Marriage rates are dropping because according to you, anything I show is not valid. I mean, anything I show is not valid.
I'm not saying that what you are showing is invalid. I'm actually saying that what you are showing is valid, but you have not done the research to actually read it. Different things.
I'm not
from what you already have.
You can say I'm using it wrong. You can say I'm using the data wrong. The fact is that I presented the data that backs up my points. You are doing the cherry picking. You're doing the nitpicking, not me.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, Ramil, is this. Even here, like check for instance the site that you're at. You're saying that this PBS.org is taking data from the CDC, right?
It says source. Author created data based from the Center of Disease Control National Vital Statistics System.
Okay, so the only thing I'm asking you is why didn't you go to the CDC to pull up that data?
Because once again,
the author.
Because once again, when PBS is just like I brought up the NASDAQ article, you're acting like these sources are not reliable. PBS is reliable.
Okay, so let me show you why.
NASDAQ is reliable for information.
Okay, so let me show you why.
Show me that marriage rates are not dropping in America. I would love to see that.
Show you why. And the whole thought is not that you are if you could I guess let go of the screen so I can share.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay. All right. So like I was stating before, you know how you're stating that marriage rates are declining, right?
Yes, the rates of marriage are declining, yes.
Okay. Now you're saying that is across the board, period. There's no argument to that, and that it is. Are you saying that it's just similar across the board, or are you just saying that it's just declining across the board?
It is. The rate of marriage is declining across the board. This is why bridal companies are closing. Wedding ring jewelry companies are closing, like David's Bridal. I mean, Kay's Jewelers reported a loss in sales. That correlates with the fact that marriage rates are dropping, according to the Center for Disease Control. Yes.
Okay. So, if that was the case, then why is it that more children are living in intact families?
Okay. So here's the thing. So all married people marriage doesn't mean children, first of all. Okay, so we're talking about marriage rates, not children being born in intact. That's two different things. The fact that marriage rates are dropping has nothing to do with more children living in intact families.
Are you sure?
There's two. Look, once again,
what you just said.
Yes, I thought about what. Look, if the marriage rate is dropping, you bringing up something about not all married people have children.
Okay, so if the marriage rate is dropping, wouldn't that also mean that the kids that there will be more kids that were in broken families?
No, because
are you saying the only people that are getting divorced are people that just don't have children?
All married people don't have children. So what does that got to do with the marriage rate dropping?
Are you saying that the only people that are getting divorced are people that don't have children?
No, I'm saying that study has nothing to do with prove to me how marriage rates are not declining. How did you go from saying that I'm wrong as far as marriage rates are declining to saying children are living?
I'm not saying that marriage rates are just totally not declining. What I'm asking.
So what are you trying to prove then?
What I'm asking you is are the marriage rates are you saying the only individuals that are not being married or that are getting divorced don't have children?
No, people are getting divorced with and without children. Yes.
Okay, so it includes both, though, then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why do we have now an increase of intact families?
No, it doesn't say you have an increase of intact. It says you have more children living with intact families. They can have a lot of children in those families. Okay, once again, you're conflating two different things. The fact that marriage rates are dropping has nothing to do with more children living in intact families. The intact family can have 6, 7, 8 children. All right, so I don't understand what you're getting at with this study. The facts is marriage rates in the United States are dropping. Whether more kids are in intact families or not has nothing to do with the fact that less people are getting married.
Okay, now you are correct in the whole idea of the less people not getting married, which is adding to the thought of the marriage rate dropping. However, one of the things that you're viewing it from is from the viewpoint of Black society, which is this purple.
Are we not Black?
Correct.
So you keep saying I'm viewing this from what Black people look at. Dude, we're Black, right? I'm trying to understand. Like,
correct. Now follow me. Where are we at? We're at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where we are at the bottom so far as marriage. At the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why does the economic model for people within this country follow the same as the marriage rate with children? Why?
Because it's based
together with the numbers that I showed you for
pointing out a correlation
millionaires and the upwardly mobile. Why does
pointing out a correlation? You can't prove that that the marriage and the families are a direct cause of wealth. You're bringing up correlation. The wealth is created by skill sets and hard work,
and yet
not marriage.
And yet it follows the same model.
No, it is a correlation because you keep pointing it out as if there's not successful single people. And once again, you said it yourself. Most of these millionaires and billionaires have been married for how long? 20 years. You're following a data trend from people.
No, I said that was the average.
No, you did not. You said that was most. You said most of millionaires and billionaires who are married have been married over 20 years. That's what you said. Okay. Now you can change it if you want.
If I stated that, but I meant to say that is the mean. That is the average. That is what the data shows.
Okay, even if that's the average,
it includes millennials. So far as
okay, well, millennials haven't been married that long. Millennials haven't been married that long.
In that report, was added millennials.
Okay, yeah, and then it's 2015, right? So millennials just now getting into the age. So we got to see what that happens with that.
Okay, and yet why of that percentage of millionaires within the United States of the 18.6 million people, why is 85% of them married?
Because once again, you just said the average of them got married 20 years ago, right?
No.
So did you not just say that?
I said that's the mean.
Okay, so even if it's the mean, that's a significant portion of them were married for 20 years. The people who are married, who are younger age group, they were newly married, especially 5 years ago, 2015. So what are they doing? We don't know what could happen since we know 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. So we don't know what's going on now.
But that's what I'm saying is that model that you're saying, the 40 to 60%, it does not hold for that group.
It holds, but you're just talking about the mean, right? It holds for.
It never has. Actually, as you go up the social economic model or range, you see more people married for longer periods of time with two-parent intact families.
What's the age range of most people getting divorced right now? Do you know?
You tell me. What I can show you is that the end of the individuals that are not married, they tend to be poor.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that people who are not married tend to be poor?
Yes, that's what
on average
right here.
What data shows that the average person who's not married is poor?
You're looking at it. Share of adults 18 through 55 who are currently married by class.
Okay, let's pull that up and let's look at the source for that. I'm gonna pull a you.
Sure. Sure, right here. I'll drop the link in the chat for you.
Saying that the majority of people who are not married are poor. I would love to see that.
By far.
I'm looking for it in the chat. You drop it in the chat?
Yep. I just put it in there. There you are right there.
Are you a mod? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, it's in there.
All right, let me see. I would love to see Okay, here we go. So majority of poor people, majority of people who, okay, share of adults 18 to 55 who are currently married by class.
Correct.
So where did it say that people who are not married are poor?
The poor and the working class make up the majority within America. They are the 80%. Once you get to middle, upper class, and then the elite, that is the top 20%.
No, but you said they are poor. So there's a difference between poor and working class. You said majority of people who are not married are poor.
Correct.
How does this data point out that the majority of people who are not married are poor?
Okay.
Do you know what poor means?
You're looking at the married statistics.
Yes.
We already know that in America, the top 20% consist of the upper class and the elite, the middle, the upper class, and the elite. Those numbers I showed you right here, 50% of the middle and upper class are married. When you go into
that means 44% is not married.
85%. When you go into the billionaires, it's 85%.
Hold on.
Go down to the working class, 39% of them are married, and when you go down to the poor, 26% of them are married. And
okay, so once again,
make up the majority of the United States.
Once again, man, this study does not say that the majority of people who are not married are poor. That does not. This study does not say that.
What? Oh my goodness!
The majority of people who are not. You telling me? You saying the majority of people who are not married are literally poor? Because working class does not count as poor. Working class does not count as poor. All right, if you make, what do you mean poor? That's poverty. All right, that's so. Majority of single people are living in poverty. That's what you're saying. Majority of single people in America are living in poverty.
Oh my goodness, man! Are you really trying to teach dudes business, and you don't know that the working class are the individuals that are living basically from paycheck to paycheck?
The working class. If you're a plumber, hold up, you're in the trade,
the poor. And the poor,
the trades are working class.
Are living below the poverty line.
Hold on, bro. The trades are working class people. Electricians,
which make up the middle and upper class. If they're
not poor,
they're making 75 or more, they make up the middle and upper class.
Yeah, but they're not poor. Our single people,
then they make up the middle and upper class. Then
okay, but what you're telling me is
majority of people that are not making money like that are within the poor and the working class.
No, once again, you're combining work. You're trying to combine.
If you look right here on this graph,
you're trying to combine.
Not value marriage.
You're trying to combine.
But as you go up the hill, they do.
Hold on, you're combining working class, and the poor. You're trying to combine them into one group. They're not one group. Poor person and a working class person are two different people.
Okay.
Two different groups.
Dude.
Why are you trying to combine them?
If you go right here, it's talking about why working class families are more fragile today. And those individuals that are just a little bit above the poor, they make up.
But they're not poor. That's what I'm telling you. They're not
poor. From paycheck to paycheck.
You can't say they're poor. That's what I'm telling you. You can't say they're poor.
Okay, well, if you don't believe that living from paycheck to paycheck as a businessman, which your whole channel,
you could be living paycheck to paycheck and making $10,000 depending on your expenses.
If you believe that that's making it, come on.
I didn't say it's making it. I just said you're not poor. Don't conflate it.
Well, then the poor and the working class.
Okay, say that, man, but don't say majority of single people.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. The more broke people in this country, they are not married. They make up the majority of the United States.
And once again,
that makes sense for me.
I'm about to make it make sense because once again, first of all, if he's looking at this graph and it says 56% of people in upper class are married, well, that makes 44% people who are in the upper class who are not married. That's still a pretty good percentage. And on top of that, one more thing. One more thing. Hold on. Let me finish. One more thing. Let me finish. As far as what that's concerned, not only is 44% a large number, but what they're not accounting for, once again,
but it's not the majority.
Hold on, I got you. These marriages are based on most of the time what? 2 incomes. Now, if these marriages end in divorce, does it account for the wealth being split amongst the party?
If was a fifth.
What the numbers saying? No, 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce, brother.
What you're
40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce.
See, what you're trying to sell to people is this. I'm telling them, if you want to get here and above, the marriage model works. And what you're saying is, hey, it's better to be in the 44% than the 56.
Yeah, because you're not legally obligated.
That's a sound business model. Go ahead. I don't have no.
Yes, because you're not legally, you're not legally under fire.
Tell the truth on it, though.
You're not walking the legal rope above fire every day. Yes, it's better to be single and rich than to be married and rich, because nobody can take your shit by going down to the courthouse. Out any day they're not feeling you no more. You know, I find it funny.
I haven't even touched on the whole idea of the following generation, which a lot of the individuals within the millennials on YouTube have all sorts of stuff to say about the older Gen X and boomers and what they didn't do and so forth. Well, how is a pump and dump society going to help the next generation? Well, the generation that comes behind that going to say, dang, these millennials, they messed over.
So how I got you. Pumping and dumping is going to create less children being born into poverty, because I talk about responsible pump and dump. And men who means the next generation can come from people practicing something new called surrogacy and having full legal control of the children. Let's see what happens when black men have full legal control of their children.
Now what you're telling me, Ramil, is to do the same thing that you accused me of when you said that I didn't have any data for the millennials, which there is data. You're throwing out a model that you have no idea how it's going to work, and
it's called predicting.
Tell people on it.
Okay, yeah, it's called a prediction. I think we've tried the other model.
Just like you're predicting the 2053. That's not me. But you're not coming to me with numbers on a proven model.
That's expert economists, and that's not a proven. Marriage is not a
model that works.
For who?
That's been working since 1950.
Why is it declining?
Why
is it declining?
And it's still working.
And it's declining.
And why the rich continue to marry the rich.
The rich are losing their money now.
To have families and marriage.
Wealth transfer is happening
because
now.
They know that it works.
No, it's not. It's not working. That's why the rates are declining, and the divorce rates are up. Why are men losing their wealth in family court? Why are divorce rates up? Why are marriage declining? Obviously, it's not working. It's outdated.
Because they're poor.
It's outdated.
Because they're poor and uninformed.
It's outdated.
If they actually looked at the
men putting your assets on the line is outdated.
They would know how to handle it.
Look, man, men putting their assets on the line.
All they want to do
putting everything at risk.
They want to look at the money of what these people have, but they don't want to look at how they built their lifestyle.
Look, they built it by getting wealthy.
Like that.
Let me ask you a question: Are they wealthy first before they get married? You keep talking about the rich. Are they wealthy before they get married or after they get married?
I don't know. You use the example of Jeff Bezos.
Was he wealthy before?
He came out of my alma mater, my elementary school, River Oaks, out of here in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yes, he made his money after he got married. It was him, his wife, that drove across country while he was creating the business plan. It was her that actually named Amazon, and it was her who was the accountant for many, many years of that company. So what are you talking about?
Okay, so once again, you're talking about she was with him shooting in the gym. We both know that even if that was the case, that is very rare. It's usually the man who has built something.
How do you know that?
Because most of these men, most of these men, these females are not helping them build wealth. They're not.
How do you know that, Ramil?
How do you know they are?
Because I just gave you an example of one that did. Show me an example of one that didn't.
That's what prove that she helped him. Since you're saying she helped him, did all this stuff.
I just proved it to you.
No, you said you brought up
a condo that they had. Both of them went to Princeton. She was the accountant and named the company.
Okay, so once again, The anomaly does not make the rule.
She even made some of the deliveries for the first.
So what about the rich
of the Amazon?
So what are the numbers? Since you want to play anomalies, what are the numbers of the wife helping the husband build his wealth versus the numbers of the wife who didn't help her, who just married into the wealth? Because a lot of wealthy women become rich by divorce. What I'm saying,
Ramil, is that we need to look into that instead of just throwing it out there as if what you state is absolute truth. I say that we need to look at the data instead of just throwing it out there to people.
So you want to look at the data of what females? Okay,
I gave you an example of a person that did, a person that you used as an example at the very beginning of this.
Okay, and I can bring up examples of people
and I
who build
showed
wealth
you
without
where
them.
she actually did aid in.
No, you didn't show me. You told me. You didn't prove it.
Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it then.
Okay, but like I said, if you want to look at compare the numbers of people who got rich using the help of a female versus people who got rich first and then got married, I am pretty sure by far the people who got rich.
How are you pretty sure by far? How are you pretty sure by far?
Same way you're pretty sure that they got help from the hoes.
Okay, I'm looking at what actually happened.
And I am too. I'm looking at it too, man.
Throwing stuff out the window and saying, "Oh,
I'm not." I'm just saying, bro.
Let's actually look it up.
Okay, so what makes the most wealthy woman? What makes more women wealthy in this country?
Here we go. Business Insider. Let me get to this share screen real quick, because you like to use this person as an example a whole lot. I've heard it on your channel a whole lot.
Yeah, I do use him a whole lot.
Played a big role in the founding of Amazon and drove across country with Jeff to start.
Hold on one second, brothers. Timekeeper, we're gonna go for 10 more minutes. So can you put 10 minutes on the clock, please? Timekeeper. Okay. We're gonna go for 10 more minutes, then we're gonna do closing statements. All right. I'm gonna share your screen, brothers.
Hello, anybody there? Yo, anybody there? I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, this is out of Business Insider story before their divorce or whatnot, and it's a reason why it ended so well is because he understood what she had done in the beginning of setting up the business. Again,
look, man. Once again, you're showing me one example. If this is true, because you know how females like to overinflate their help, what they really did.
It's not a female. It's a guy that wrote this.
Well, I know I'm saying, but he's basing it off of he's basing it off of what she said. She's claiming that she helped do this.
No, this is actually.
How would he know? How would he know if he's just an author? How would he know really? According to your logic, how would he know what really went down in the marriage if it's just an article? Because you said when I pull up articles, we can't use them.
Okay, let's look at what they both stated. Okay. This is from a what do you call that? An article that was written by I'm just an excerpt from an article that was written by Wire when they interviewed Jeff Bezos and his wife. Mackenzie Bezos driving and Jeff Bezos tapping out a business plan on his computer along the way. Jeff spent the trip pecking out a business plan on his computer laptop and calling for prospective investors on a cell phone, according to Entrepreneur, whenever they had that. We go to other articles in this, because I don't think that you've read any of this, have you?
Well, that's your source, so I didn't read that from your source.
Let me ask you this first.
I can put a billionaire
of the story. Have you read any of the story of the background of Jeff Bezos and his family life?
Yeah, I read he started in the garage, got a loan from his parents, worked his ass off. You talking about what the bitch did? He did most of the work.
Okay,
by far.
Company.
Huh?
When did he start the company? Before or
And
after?
I believe it was in the 90s. I believe. I'm not 100% familiar with this autobiographical
When did he start
background.
the company? Before or after he was married?
I'm not 100% positive right now.
He started the company after he was married. She was the one that actually came up with the name Amazon.
Oh, she came up with the name. Okay, dude. You know how many logistics and other tactics.
She served as the accountant.
She came up with the name. Well, if that's her, who claimed that? You didn't point out Jeff Bezos saying, yes, this bitch helped me. You didn't point that out. Now I can tell you what I can point out. People, billionaires who didn't have the help of their wife making their
million. Show them. That's what I was saying. I think that would be an advantageous.
Let's go to Business Insider. Another article from Business Insider. If I could get my screen to be shared, let's see of all these billionaire divorces, whose wife actually helped them build the shit versus whose wife did not.
I'll just before we head out real quick, I just want to prove what I was stating about her being the accountant, the very first accountant of the company was true, because that I'm not just
according to her. Okay, yeah,
not according to her, but according to the actual company. I gotta go to. I'll let you go first so you can share.
Yeah, because I mean, bro, like, you know, I guess I'll share my screen now. I mean, we talking about whole shoot. We talking about you saying these hoes was with these guys shooting in the gym, creating these big ass companies. Well, I'm not saying that does not happen. I mean, majority of the time, that's just not what's happening, man. I mean, you know. Look, man. Is my screen being shared? Okay, let's look right here, man. So you brought up one example of Jeff Bezos. I'm going to use the founder.
I pulled up the example that you used during this debate.
Because I use you know what I'm saying, if you want to bring up, like I said, you still did not prove that she was in the gym helping them shoot. You just proving things, you just pulling up things that other people said, which when I do that, it's always a problem. But when you do that, I guess
okay, you're right. Let's
look at Formula One racer right here. No, okay, it's cool. Let's look at you. She married a model. So we can go one for one. Do you think she helped him build his Formula One empire? Do you think she did? No. Okay, so we can pull up many couples. You want to go tit for tat. I mean, bro, at the end of the day, the wealth is going to be built before the marriage is happening.
But we haven't proved that.
Well, I just proved it right here with this one. So what you want? Okay. How you want to prove it? Tit for tat, or how you want to do it?
Okay, I mean, there's several ways.
I mean, how are you going to prove that the females help the wealth? No, go ahead.
Again, I could prove the same thing with another example of another individual, and we can go back and forth. Okay. The thing that I'm saying to you is that you're pushing this idea as though every single one of these individuals chose women that had no skills, that added no value to the building of wealth, which is not true. You can just look at Mark Zuckerberg's wife. She adds a lot of value towards.
Hold on. Did he create Facebook? Hold on, but I know did he know her when he created Facebook? Hold up, man. Don't, dude. These people get rich and they marry. If they don't marry for power, if they're not marrying another wealthy family, they marry some bad bitch and they just some bad model bitch or something. If they're not marrying somebody else for power or wealth, they usually marry some bad fine bitch. I'm not saying there hasn't been ones that was shooting in the gym and helped make it happen, but when that's not what happens majority of the time. Because if it was, they wouldn't be needing these big ass settlements. They'll have their own money.
So here comes the next part then. Then if these individuals make this type of money and it is such a risk, and you are saying to your constituency, hey, this is a risk that you should avoid, are you saying that you're smarter than those individuals with the money? That your model on life is smarter than those individuals that have actually made the money?
Okay, so when you ask that type of question, you're looking, first of all,
We're comparing models.
Yes.
You're saying for the men in your dojo, do not get married, do not do this and so forth.
Yes.
If those men went to the dojo of these millionaires and billionaires, they would not get that same.
You don't know that.
Advice.
So you don't know that. You don't know that though. You don't know.
How is it that your advice is better than their life model?
Because my advice, you're not risking your assets. I mean, like I said, wealthy people get divorced as well, and then when they get divorced, they lose hard. All right. So yes, my advice is more smarter than theirs if they tell you to get married. Yes.
So that
because once again,
so that 85% of billionaires and millionaires who are married,
who are older,
your model is smarter than theirs.
Yeah, because they come from another generation. Okay. These married people, for the most part, come from another generation in a different time period. So yes.
85%, Ramil. That is.
And what is the age?
That is way larger.
What is the age? What is the age? What is the majority age range of those people you talking about who are married, who are millionaires and billionaires? What's the numbers on that? What's the age range?
I don't know the age range, but
we should probably that should matter, bro, about the generation.
Okay.
Talking about.
All right. But here's a way that we can prove that what you're saying is incorrect. We know the number of them though. 18.6 million people. Are you trying to tell me that 18.6 million people that are millionaires within this country are all old?
I'm saying that the majority of them, yes, will be older. Yes. Currently, yes. Yes. Hell yes. Come on, dog. Are you serious? Yes. Yes. Majority of them will be older. Yes. Like you said it yourself. It doesn't be built overnight. It takes time.
Okay. So with that stated, and with them building their wealth over time, where are you showing me a model that supersedes that model?
Well, I'm showing you the model that doesn't involve putting your assets on the line so that you can create that. Once again, you're pointing out the correlation between marriage and wealth, but you're not pointing out the causation. Marriage is not the cause of wealth. It's not.
If it is not a cause, if it has no effect, then why do you see these individuals that have the most power and the most money within the most powerful country on earth marry?
Because once again, they come from another generation. And on top of that, a lot of that time is for image. You don't want to talk about that. A lot of people who get married for the image, especially politicians and wealthy people, because you said it yourself, they're viewed as more trusted or whatever. I mean, a lot of it's for image, man. A lot of them don't even like each other. That's why they got mistresses. That's why successful men got mistresses.
So are you saying that image doesn't equate to money?
I say it's a correlation that makes them look better.
So then it is a correlation then.
No, for image wise, people correlate that.
So image correlate marriage to do with money then.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying people correlate marriage with a positive image because of people who are sheep and they ignore the numbers.
How about this, Ramil? Does image make money?
Image can make money, yes.
Oh, so it does equate. So this marriage model does have some effect.
But any type of image can make money. I mean, the stoner image can make money. What do you mean? The image can make money. I didn't say the marriage image. I just said image can make money. Then why? Depending on how it's marketed. Yes.
Why is it that these individuals that are at the top stratus of this entire country and really the world, not all, but the vast majority of them want the married model?
No, they're following a model which most of them got involved in over 20 years ago. Like you pointed out,
they're following.
No, you pointing out that it's 20 years old. So these people
you're saying that they're following.
No, you just pointed out that the people who are doing this are been married over 20 years. So they're following a model that is slowly becoming outdated.
So you're basically saying they don't know what they're doing.
No, I'm saying that they're following an outdated model, which is their grandfathered in. So since they were grandfathered in,
their life model is outdated. The most powerful and richest people on this planet.
This is why the wealth transfer is happening now. Yeah, this is why there's a wealth transfer happening now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And this is like one of the
marriage is outdated. Yes.
This is one of those functions of the dysfunction that you see within the Black community.
So not being married is dysfunctional.
Not wanting to learn from the older generations in order to grow. They want to try to come in with something that is unproven and try to push that as a fact.
No, it actually is proven.
When you have working, living individuals within this country,
I take what works from the older generations. I take what works from the older generations.
That doesn't even add in the tens of millions that are within the six-figure income.
I take what works from the older generation. I learned what
works.
Well,
I look at working models.
Exactly.
And forecast from those. That's actually what financial forecasting. So if you look at
working models, and why you're not pointing out the fact that
they move from there.
Majority of marriages, 40 to 50% of marriages in divorce. So that's a working model right there. Women file 80% of divorces. That's a working model right there.
All right. That's going to bring the rapid fire round to an end. So now we're going to go into closing statements. We led off with Brother Supreme, so we're going to lead off with our closing statement with Brother Ramil. Timekeeper, can I get 7 minutes on the clock, please?
I find it funny that, man, after all this manosphere content coming out, red pill content, the information about quote unquote female nature and all the risks within marriage, and what the numbers say, the family courts, the alimony payments, the child support payments, all this information and data comes out, and we're still saying that it's in the best interest of Black men to go down the family route, despite of all the trappings and what the numbers do say. Even when I did bring up numbers and articles, it was disregarded because I didn't go through page by page by page, even though I brought you the conclusion by people who were verified in that field. It is what it is. I mean, the thing is that when I do bring up sources, they're not accepted because they promote what I'm saying is best, which is to pump and dump. But his sources are there okay because he brought them up and they promote his side. I find that really funny. But as we know, in 2020, marriage is the worst thing that Black men can do. All right. Childless people are more happy. I showed the report on that along with the numbers. If you guys want to plug in those variables, and happiness can be measured. People know if they're happy or not. All right. The reason why a lot of Black men can't build wealth is because their resources are tied up in the family life, or tied up with their baby mama or with the female, which does not give them any return on investment. All right. Also, women get bored quicker with their partner. So you get with a female long term, after a year, she's probably going to cheat on you, according to the studies and the surveys taken by the British Medical Journal. We need to focus our energy on resources and wealth building and not procreation. We can take 10 to 20 years off and focus on productivity and power and not bring more people into the world on a massive level, because once again, expert economists are predicting that by 2053, based on our current spending habits, we're going to have no money. So you're basically breeding the new underclass when you do this. Now, 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce. He keeps talking about the wealthy people and what the rich people are doing, what you should be striving to get to. But the fact is, majority of people are not wealthy. Majority of people are not rich, and they never will be. All right. Marriage on the aggregate is 40 to 50% failure rate, which is why men should not be participating in that. And according to the data of Family Court, you will get ate up, your money will get garnished, and you will be left with kids who don't fuck with you, and a child support bill and a court order restricting your freedom to even travel, which him being the SYSBM brother, I don't understand why he would want to put himself in the position where you could not be traveling because of any child support orders against you. You can't get a passport. All right, marriage is outdated. Marriage is not necessary for human survival in modern times. This is why people are not taking it seriously. This is why females are gaming up you guys, using your integrity and your emotions to get married, and then they're leaving you. 80% of divorces are filed by women because they get tired of you, because they want new partners, they want new dick. This all races of people. Okay, you're gonna be better off being in full control of your life. As a man, you want to maintain full legal control over your life and maintain your sovereignty, and you can't do that being at the whim of another person, because people are always going to put their own needs first. That's just how it is. All right. And it's time for Black men to start practicing this as well. We always put other people's needs before ours, which is why we're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to men in America, because we always want to put other people's needs before ours. We haven't taken the time to focus on ourselves and build up our own shit. All right, we tried the family thing. All right, obviously for Black people, it's not working because people don't value that shit. And for the whole American society, the marriage rate is dropping because now we live in a society, because of technology, you can be your best individual self and you work together with the people who have the same mindset as you. Just because she's a female doesn't mean she has the same mindset as you. They value vanity, beauty, and security. Men value wealth, conquering, power. Two different paths in the road. You guys are trying to go down the same path, but men and women are on different paths in 2020. All right. So just look, and if you want to have children, get your money up and get a surrogate so that you have full legal control. But taking the legal risk and the family court risk, which I don't know why he didn't touch on the fact that men get slaughtered in family court, slaughtered in these going to battle with these females in the court systems after the divorce happens or after the child support system gets a hold of them. I don't know why he didn't bring that up, even though I brought it up several times. Why subject yourself to that trap where you can be the best man you can be, bring in new females in your life as often as you want, and focus on productivity and let females be recreation. All right, let females be recreation. All right, and if you want to have a child, be logical, get a surrogate and maintain full legal control. But creating a family, getting married with a state-sanctioned marriage and putting your livelihood at risk for getting taken away forever, why would you do that? You work too hard for what you built as a man. You work too hard for the position you've acquired as a job or the business you built for it to be taken away by somebody who wasn't with you shooting in the gym. And even if they was shooting with you in the gym, putting in a little bit of effort here and there, like naming your company, woohoo. No, you went through the logistics and you built that. Why are we so eager to put everything we built on the line as men? No, be proud of what you built and maintain it by keeping it in your full legal control. And if you want to be with a female, operate in a way where you're not on the hook legally. Okay? We can study the trends of the wealthy and the rich, but the fact is, majority of you niggas ain't gonna be wealthy, and majority of you niggas ain't gonna be rich. All right, and even if you are going to be wealthy or rich, you still should not be putting that on the line for another person. He has not shown how marriage is the cause of wealth. He's shown a correlation. He can say most wealthy people, goddamn, most people who are wealthy are married. Okay, so what if you come out with most people who are wealthy smoke cigarettes? So what? Don't mean the cigarette is the cause of the wealth. Just like don't mean the marriage is the cause of the wealth. It was the skills and the mindset and the hard work that built the wealth. The marriage came after that most of the time. So marriage does not equal wealth. Hard work, dedication, and willingness to put everything on the line and taking the risk. That's what builds wealth, and that's what maintains wealth. All right, but all this other stuff, man, are emotional arguments. All right, Black people have a lot of other things to focus on, whether in procreation and trying to build a family, when our wealth is going down literally every year. We don't own anything. We don't control anything. We don't have no legal power. We don't have no police power. We don't have any. We're not occupying the STEM fields. We're not involved in infrastructure enough to be talking about Black people need to be creating more unproductive people. We got an issue at our hands. Our wealth is going down. Our ownership is declining even further. Let's get some power first before we start talking about adding more people to the house. It doesn't take that long because we're in an age of technology. All right, well, wealth can be created exponentially and easier thanks to Moore's law. Let's focus on building something that we can have something to protect before we bring more people out here all willy-nilly into the world. All right, Black people, we need to fucking step our economics game up, our power game up, our political game up. So many other things we have to do before adding to a population that's obviously being raised by the culture. Black fathers are in their children's lives the most out of all people, but why are Black people still growing up not to be shit? Because it's the culture.
All right. Timekeeper, can I get 7 minutes on the clock, please, sir? Brother Supreme, you up?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I guess I should open and leave with this. The pump and dump culture, the lifestyle, I actually have no sentiment against it for this reason. I know that most in the Black community are going to do that. Actually, I want it to happen. It fulfills my prophecy of let it burn. because the more individuals that you have do that, you're going to have people that are not as responsible as Ramil that are going to follow it. And they are going to have a bunch of baby mamas and children and so forth. Because you can try to tell dudes, oh man, you know, you just want to do this, and then you want to, you know, dump and leave and so forth and protect yourself. And what a dude's gonna do? They've been trying that since way back when. Oh, I ain't gonna get her pregnant and so forth. And then what happens? They get her pregnant. So it's gonna be a cycle that's gonna continue. And what you're gonna see is less and less stable, intact families together, and that's going to create a huge gulf of even more dysfunction and destruction. So I'm all for it, actually. So far as individuals going ahead and do it, go ahead. The only thing that I felt in this whole debate was how my interlocutor tried to put words in my mouth about child support and courts and laws. I never mentioned any of that. I stuck with what his motto was, which is business, being a businessman and trying to be the most productive and make the most money possible. Now, I showed him that the working model that works in society today is individuals that are married. They control the most wealth in this country. It's not even close. The individuals that are married by far have more money than any other individuals or groups within this country. Can't even dispute it. So this whole idea of that it has no correlation. I can smoke cigarettes. The high cancer count. Oh, they don't have no correlation. Okay, keep believe that if you want to. But apparently, the most richest and powerful individuals in this world, they don't believe that. So if you want to go with the whole idea of an individual trying to tell you how you can find true success without a working model in front of you, and it's going on guesswork, go ahead. I have no issue with that. And I know that most of the community is going to do it because it's just like David Carroll said. You niggas can't help yourself. You dysfunctional. So I get it. And I want it to happen. I actually laugh at it to happen. So, but when you look at these other models and you look at how other cultures are acting, even within this country, they're not following it. That's why I showed the instance of individuals that are actually valuing their children. There are more children today that are living in intact families than there was 30 years ago. And there's a reason for that, because those communities understand that you have to invest in your children. And one of the best ways that you invest in your children is by giving them a stable foundation in which to build on. One of the very things that Ramil and others complains about that the boomers didn't do for them. Yet he wants to hold on to this idea that you can selfishly try to do any and everything for yourself and forget everything else around you. If you actually believe that that's going to work, like I said, go with it. Go with it. But he himself stated that he came from a two-parent family. Isn't that something? When we look at even the individual that's hosting this panel, he comes from a two-parent family. Most of the individuals within this country that are not, you know, some type of super genius or whatnot, they had the found and then went on to be upwardly mobile. The majority of them had stable two-parent families, which is why when you look at the model of all of those other lines that I showed so far as the children with the two-parent households, those other communities understand that. The one that doesn't, the Black community, which is why you have all these individuals dealing with stuff like child support, different broken family households, no communication, no wealth transfer, dad gone, and all this other stuff. hey, if you wanna take advice from that perspective, go ahead. But I think a better perspective would be to look outside for various ideas of how other people who are actually movers and shakers in this country put it together and get it done. I already know Black America isn't none of this. They're failures. So it's like, what do you expect from a group that is going to try to tell you how to fix things? Just to give a point and example, today there was a panel, individuals talking about the whole, the Cujo guy and his wife. And I'm looking at a panel of individuals that none of them have never had a successful marriage. None of them. And yet they want to give advice on what should happen. That is a kind of like a microcosm of what we see when it comes to Ramil's thought on what Black men and Black society as a whole should do. Individuals that does not have a family themselves, has not looked outside of the spectrum to see how different models work, and wants to just go on a viewpoint of what he sees within his.
All right. That's going to bring our debate to a close. Good shit, brothers. Good shit tonight. Y'all know now this is something that I didn't used to do, but now we do something. We actually take a poll and we let the audience cast their votes on who won said debate. So get ready, audience, to cast your vote. If you believe Brother Ramil won the debate, put an R in the chat. If you believe Brother Supreme won the debate, put an S in the chat. R for Brother Ramil, S for Brother Supreme. Come on, don't take all damn night. Let's go. Come on.
Hey, I mean, Supreme King, you want to talk about the numbers all day. I mean, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, man. Hey, look, man. I look. Look. At the end of the day, man, logic is going to always win, man. And
logic is based on numbers, man.
And the numbers,
a lot of R's.
The numbers say,
I'll give it to the audience. They said that Ramil wins. That's fine with me. Yeah. But I'm just telling you, when you started to push the whole idea as though like logic isn't numbers, I showed the most numbers tonight.
But just because you showed the most numbers, it's this fine line between making sense and showing numbers. There has to be a balance. What I find in these debates is that guys overanalyze shit. All right, I bring the numbers that stand on common sense. Sometimes you guys just bring numbers just to bring numbers. All right, it has to be tied to common sense.
You told yours, you didn't prove them.
Well, I did. I pulled them up. And you just want to disregard them, like, bro, like it's common sense, man.
Let me give you an example. When you said the divorce numbers, you stated that as if that is across the board, and those numbers do not stand across the board. Those numbers work for the lower socioeconomic group, but they do not stand for when you get past that upper middle class. The numbers for divorce go down significantly. The more money you have, those numbers for divorce go down significantly.
I think the R's have it. Yeah, the R's have it.
Yeah, man. Like I say, man, 5-0 in this bitch. Hey, man, look. I'm waiting on a knockout. I'm not perfect, man. I'm waiting on somebody who's going to come and rock me off my side. And shout out to S.K.C. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't my audience. It's T.P.O.T audience combined with the whole manosphere. So I don't care. Everybody else to us bias is bias. Like it's not.
Nah, man. Hey,
not you. I'm just saying.
I'll give it to you. It is what it is. I ain't one of those guys, man. Never will be. But I know this though.
What's up?
comes to this debate, ain't nobody came at you like I did. Nah, I know that.
Oh shit, man! Hey, yeah, that's true though. I ain't gonna stunt.
I don't know how you brothers look on time. Y'all know we usually take a few questions from the audience. I don't know what y'all look like on time.
No, I can take some questions, man. Nah, this is definitely my most competition facts.
And when it comes to those studies that you pulled up, I got them, and I'm still gonna show you behind the scenes where you are. So you need to sharpen up your points.
All right. So tell me how. Yeah, and maybe I should be doing that to you, though. I mean,
yeah, that's what I think we should do that more. We should trade the different evidences that we give. I can show you where I highlighted and went over and fine line various points to counter what you were saying in that NASDAQ report that you're saying. Because again, I'm not trying to push right now. The audience said that you won, but I'm saying you need to go back and read that, because what if somebody else was to come in, like say if it was a white dude, like take for instance like a Steven Crowder type of dude, he would kill you with that article because it doesn't say what you're saying, bro.
I mean, I just read the title, bro. I read the article. I'm just saying I did read what it says, and you're telling me that it didn't say what I saw with my own 2 eyes. It says 70% of generational wealth is lost by the second generation. That's what it said. So I mean, you can't say that I didn't say what it said when I just basically read the article. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like when I bring up sources and numbers, it gets disregarded. All right, but your sources is okay, just like we was bringing up sources talking about based on what author written for an article. But when I bring up an article written by an author, it's disregarded. That's the thing. I do bring sources.
Well, the only article that I brought up that I would say would be in question was the article about Jeff Bezos' wife. The other things that I brought up were actual studies.
Okay.
I didn't go to any link to online to a news site that was using the study. I actually pulled the real study up that they used.
Hey, well, okay. Like I said, man, what I would teach you is how to appeal to the audience and make arguments that make sense. All right, that's what I can show you. Okay, I mean, like I said, the numbers. Look, I'm all about numbers, but y'all like same thing with Taz. Like, the numbers, if they don't coincide with common sense and the best decision making, it got to be both together. It got to be the numbers and it has to be common sense together. You can't just be too analytical, but you can't be too non-analytical. It's a balance to this, man. And a lot of you guys, these debates are trying to put out analysis paralysis and instead of just disregarding common sense in a lot of cases. I won the battle because of common sense, not because of numbers.
I understand that. I guess the common sense point that I was trying to lead to you while we're sitting and waiting for questions. The common sense point that I was trying to lead to you is this: the individuals that are married within this country, they hold the majority of the wealth of this country.
And once again, most of those people who are wealthy in this country are older people. We already know the boomers hold most of the money. So we're talking about people who acquired their wealth and doing this with marriages coming from a different generation where there were different, there was different a sense of morality. We're talking about people who we're in the internet age, man. Anything goes now. So once again, majority of the wealthy people in this country are older people.
Okay. So following that line of logic, throw in the thought of the divorce rate. Because if the divorce rate was consistent with what you're stating, even for those people, their wealth would not be there.
The wealth is there once again, man. The wealth is not created by the marriage. The wealth is created by the skills and the hard work.
Okay, so
getting married does not mean wealth.
How many times can you get divorced and keep that wealth?
It depends on the situation of your lawyers and how much money you're making, and
but you just stated that dudes, when they go through those type of cases, they get thrown in the ringer.
They do.
Okay, so how are those dudes that are within this higher socioeconomic stratus married, getting all of these divorces that you're talking about, and still keeping their wealth?
Hold on, so no, you can't say that because how many of them are married for the first time versus how many are not?
Say
how
what?
many people? Who just because they're a billionaire doesn't mean they've been divorced. They can still be on their first marriage. So what are you saying?
You stated that the divorce rate is so high, 40 to 60%. It doesn't make good business.
Yes.
So are you saying it doesn't affect them?
It
Are
does.
you saying that it doesn't
affects
affect
anybody who goes to that court?
The six figure, the millionaires, and the billionaires? Are you saying that it doesn't affect them?
It affects everybody, but it's going to affect everybody differently. But it don't matter who you are as a man. If you go through that court system, you're going to be affected. It don't matter if you're rich or poor. Once you go through that system, you're going to be affected. Yes. Now, how much it affects you depends on a lot of factors. Your lawyers, how much money you have, how much money you're making. But for the most part, if you're a man that goes through that court system, your wealth and your money are going to be affected in a negative way. That's what the numbers say. Now, how you bounce back from that, that's an individual. That's an individual thing.
So again, we're still waiting for questions, right? Those individuals that you're talking about within this upper stratus, they must bounce back really well then, because they still are married.
Well, if they're divorced, they no longer are counted in those marriage statistics. Now they're counted as single.
But the majority of them are
go ahead. Shoot those questions up. Y'all know how we do it here.
That's it. See, that's what y'all don't account for with these marriage statistics. Talking about how they have more money, not accounting for the fact that when they divorce, they're now single people.
Okay, but the statistics show that the majority of them are not divorced. The majority of them are married.
Yes, and they've been married for how long? And they've been married for how long, according to you?
Oh my goodness,
20 plus years, right?
Circle.
Well, could you keep taking us around the circle? You keep trying to justify this.
Okay. So then, if you're saying that they've been married that long, then you're saying that the divorce rate doesn't apply to them.
No, it does apply to them. It applies to anybody
so are they
who gets
getting
divorced
or not?
They are, yes.
Okay, so how are they getting divorced and they've been married that long?
You're talking about I'm talking about all the population of people in the United States who will get married, 40 to 50% of them were in the divorce. And you want to talk about the wealthy people?
About them. I'm talking about the individuals that actually have the money, because we're talking business here, right?
What do you mean have the money?
The individuals that control the most money within this country are the top 20%. Okay. That's millions upon millions of people, tens of millions of people.
Okay.
The majority of them are married. They're not getting divorced like that.
Well, again, first of all, you don't know who's getting divorced until somebody die. You can't say that until they die, because they can get divorced tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. The only way you're going to measure if the marriage works is when one of the parties die.
But when we look at the rates of their marriage, they're hit at an 85% rate.
Okay, so once again, and how long were they? Since we're going in circles, so who has most of the money? We're talking about older people.
When you go to the poor people and the working class, you get to 3% and 36%.
They got married in another time. When things were different.
Okay.
Most people who are married, most people
are wealthy. Poor people. Huh? And so are these poor people and these working class people.
Okay, but what we're talking, but we're not, like you just said, we're talking about the people with the money who've been married for 20 plus years, because we know most people with money who are older people. We're talking about 2020. Why is it more beneficial for a man to go to marry? Back then, when they were getting married, it was no social dating apps, social media, all these things that connect us wasn't around, so it was less temptation. And even then, it was less stimuli.
I don't see any questions. We know how we do it here. Those questions are super chatted if they want to be asked.
Okay.
Everyone knows the rules.
It's question time. We got to keep the. Look, man. Look. At the end of the day, bro.
Yeah, because if they're not going to shoot any questions up, I'll let you brothers go. You know, I'm not going to hold the brothers here if you're not going to ask them any questions. And if you want to ask a goddamn question, it will be super chatted or cash apped, whichever you prefer. We got a super chat from my man BMT, but I don't think that's a question though. I think he's just. I'll put it on the board anyway. But I don't.
You mind if I answer one question?
Go right ahead, man.
A person said,
go ahead.
He says, S.K.C, you are married to an Asian woman. So why do you talk a lot about black women and people? Well, easy.
Oh, that should have been a super chat question right there.
Yeah.
That should have been a super chat question. Come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you want to answer it. Go ahead.
That's easy. As I stated in my summation, I like watching it burn. It's just that simple. I really do think that it needs to be destroyed because with all of this dysfunction that you see with, and I'm just sorry, ideas like pump and dump, like that's actually going to help people to be able to grow. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna grow more than being at the mercy of a female's emotions who just up and one day say fuck you and take you down to the court. I'm gonna grow more than being under that type of mercy. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And I do think that there's going to be individuals that are going to be successful under your model, Ramil. I don't think that it's going to be like absolute failure, but I think that there are going to be a lot of individuals that are going to fail.
How would they fail? Practicing casual sex.
Okay, because that's been the model of Black society since
irresponsible sex. I'm talking about how is having responsible casual sex and focusing on productivity and only using females for recreation. How can you end up failing doing that?
Okay, isn't that what dudes were trying from the very beginning?
No.
Were these dudes that were trying to be players, pimps, all that type of lifestyle? Do you think that they were actually trying to get women pregnant?
Well, they weren't using. Obviously, we know that they weren't using. Actions speak louder than words. So if they having sex, raw, skiing all into them, and this falls on both parties, by the way, then doesn't matter what they're saying. Their actions speak louder than the words. So once again, how is having responsible casual sex and using females as recreation and focusing on productivity? How do you fail at that? That's what I can tell you how you can fail at marriage. How do you fail at what I'm saying?
Okay, how you fail at it is how that same message has been pushed to individuals for the last 30, 40 years. Practice safe sex, don't blah, 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 blah. And what have they been doing? You actually trust these people to do the right thing and to follow?
Well, whose fault is that?
The same individuals that won't even practice social distancing. Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So if they don't follow it, who does that reflect on? The individual or the message?
That reflects on leadership, Captain.
No, it reflects on the personal decision. Just like you guys said, SYSBM doesn't reflect on the hold on. If you want to use that argument now, that it's not about the message, and it's not about the individual, it's about the message, then couldn't you use the same argument for what's in your avatar, the SYSBM?
You tell me. Tell me.
Because you're talking about that. What I'm saying, if you follow my advice, it's because of the people not listening to it and doing it wrong. That falls on me. No, it doesn't.
No, what I'm saying is even if you follow your model, you can't say or give some type of guarantee that they're not going to get someone pregnant.
Okay, but
there is no 100% guarantee.
Well, there's no 100% guarantees of anything in life.
Okay.
But overall, what's better for black men in 2020, marriage versus single life, which casual sex, which is what pump and dump is, safe casual sex versus marriage. when you look at the pros and cons, the cost benefit analysis, the single life is going to offer a far better ROI because of the risk that comes with marriage in this day and age.
Okay. And the only thing that I can, well, there's a couple of things I can give you in I would say in difference to that. One, you know, concerning children and, you know, family and all of that stuff. But even if you want to say the whole thing of ROI, again, the people before you tried that already. They tried that model of, oh, I ain't getting no pregnant, man.
No, they didn't. They didn't try that, Margaret. They was having sex unprotected. No, they didn't try. They didn't try what I tried. They was trying reckless behavior. That's what they was trying. They were not trying responsible, casual sex. Okay, we know that. We know black people were not practicing responsible sex. All right. Now, black men of means, huh?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Brother Ramil. Yeah. Brother Supreme, question for you. If you like to watch it burn and you think pump and dump is destructive behavior, wouldn't you promote pump and dump as a catalyst?
And that's what I was telling you in my summation. Secretly, I do. Because I know people are gonna do it anyway, and I want to see it happen. It will fulfill my prophecy of the community burning down.
Go ahead,
I want Pookie and Ray and like Sharkeisha and the whole nine. Keep doing what you're doing. But
so you want, so you hold on a second. So you disagree with the pump and dump model, but you want folks to continue to do it.
No. I know it's an inevitability that what you have is a bunch of people that are undisciplined. They do not understand how or the benefits of delayed gratification and planning. And why? Because they come from single parent households where that was not valued. They're not taught this stuff. And I think that it's wild that you have like a person like a Ramil. I think that he is going to do great things. He's going to be successful. But even he told you he come from a 2-parent household.
And they got divorced when I was 6 years old. And
most of his constituency has never even seen 6 years of two people together.
Well, you know, speaking that you don't remember the first 3 years of your life, pretty much. I mean, I guess I got a glimpse of it, but what I remember is arguing and disagreements.
Oh, so you didn't come from a functional, intact household.
Well, according to you, marriage is all that's required for it to be functional.
No, I didn't.
You didn't say anything about the argument and disagreements. I ain't know arguing was dysfunctional. People argue. You argue with your wife, I'm sure.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I guess I take a word for that.
Hey, do I argue with you?
I mean, human being. I mean, that's kind of unnatural.
You can ask her yourself.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, that's your business, man. I mean, I'm just saying, couples of all races argue.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'll give you that. But
so, I mean, you can look at that as a norm.
Up in a two-parent household, I thought you were like saying that, you know, like you had the full.
No. My parents were married. They got divorced when I was 6 years old.
So you don't think that has any impact on your life view?
Not necessarily, because you can argue I've seen both sides of the coin.
So you've seen intact families?
Huh?
So you've seen intact families?
I've seen intact and out of tact. Yes, my grandparents were married for 50 years. 60 years. And they raised, huh?
And did that benefit you any?
For me being born, if you want to call that a benefit, but what I'm saying is that what I also acknowledge is that they came from another generation, another time period in human history where there were different views on morality and integrity in marriage in itself that don't exist today. It's another time zone that we're in, man.
Oh, man. Interesting times. Like I said, I think that the community as it is now is at a point to where it will not be able to recover in any way. So I think that the pump and dump model is the default setting, because I mean, what else would come out of a bunch of single parent households? Of course, that's going to come out of it. Why would anything different come out of it?
Hold on, we got a question coming up from good look on that super chat, brother Hulk. Ramil, S.K.C, can we agree the system is playing both sides via a corrupt legal system and a destructive culture to make both marriage and casual intimacy exploit the weakness to people to fall short?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I know Hope will agree with me, is why when a person enacts certain principles, that they can sidestep all of that. Because if you operate with certain principles and you have an individual by your side that treasures those same principles and actually lives by them, then it's like none of that stuff even matters to you anyway. That's a lot of those soft skills that are passed along within those upper socioeconomic family traditions and so forth.
You want to take a shot at it too, brother Ramil? I think he's asking both of you.
I mean, of course, the legal system is corrupt, and this is all the reason why you should stay single. I mean, talking about the destructive cultures, that's why you should stay single until that culture is fixed. I mean, until powerful men get on our square and fix things that require our sole attention, nothing's going to change. At the end of the day, man, I'm just talking about making the best logical decision for Black men in 2020. That's all I'm talking about. And we know there's other trappings out there, the legal system, the culture. Why make it easier to fall into the trap? Why make it easier, man? But shout out to Spiritual Hope, man. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, man, he's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, that's a good brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Man,
y'all don't have any more questions. Y'all don't have any more questions.
X.
Who?
He want to know my background and everything.
Who are you talking about?
Mr. Seattle, man.
Oh, well, see, I'm not really seeing, because I'm only looking for the super chats. They're the only ones I see.
RBR.
They're the only ones I see.
RBR, get out of here.
I'll let Ramil handle that one first.
He's asking a question. I had to put it
up.
That
one to the chat.
Dropped 5 on it. He dropped 5 coins on it. Brother RBR wants to know, how much of your hatred of Black relationships and families has been forced on you by the same races who unleashed the COVID-19 virus? Well, I don't even know who the hell he's asking.
Man, I ain't got time for RBR today. I don't got time for RBR. This nigga, man, look.
See, I did ask your question, though, RBR. I did ask your question, brother.
I have an answer for that. A whole lot. and on top of that, I have a question for him. I thought melanin was supposed to protect Black people from the COVID virus, right? No. What happened with that? What happened with that? I mean, Ramil, didn't you see a whole bunch of people making videos about all that? They was showing maps from Africa, right? and talking about your Coon coming and all this.
Oh, shit.
What happened to all the videos?
That's a good question, man.
Well, I know a lot of people in this state right here that were Black died of that shit. So,
definitely was a lot of videos. Black people can't get corona, and we're immune.
Yeah, African warrior. What do you call them? Pictures and junk on the little clip on YouTube.
Yeah, it was
about they gonna chase the Chinese out of Africa, the ancient ancestors. They gonna kill off the Chinese in Africa and all this stuff. What happened, man?
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. That's funny, man.
Good look on that $2 super chat, brother Talkman. He says, "Is S.K.C making a comeback from 28-3? Let's see."
Oh wow, he gonna put me in the Patriots thing. I you know what? I'm gonna throw this to my interlocutor, man. I'm gonna throw it to Ramil. Do you feel that I was down 28-3, bro?
Nah, man, it was like I use basketball. I'll use basketball number. It was like 120 to 80.
Okay, I'll give you that, man.
But I would not say 20. This is my hardest debate.
Man, he said the champ said even in his hardest debate, he won by 40. Oh my God!
I mean, hey, look, and once again, I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to be my high. I'm just saying, like, it's just I'm waiting. Look, man, like I said, SAT used depth by far the hardest, but I'm waiting on somebody who like, because the audience they gonna tell the truth. When I lose some shit, they gonna be like, yeah, you lost that shit. I know for niggas is waiting on it, but I'm waiting on, like I said, shout out to S.K.C. Definitely, I feel as though was my most competition, but somebody says, okay, 120 to 95. Damn, 120 to 95. Okay, how about that?
120.
It sounds like whatever. I would say whatever subject comes up next, man. It seems like we're gonna have a round two that's in the works, man.
That's cool. That's fine, man. That's fine. That is definitely fine. Man. I always down. Papa Thought hit me up for the debates. Let's get it. Cause I like structured. Cause on the other channels we can go back and forth and do all together. But I like structured debates too, cause it shows it's not just yelling and shit. So
Well, full disclosure, both of you guys' names come up quite a lot in the debate pool. And I talk to Brother Supreme, pretty often, a couple times, throughout the week, on the phone. He knows, that I have a debate pool. I don't hit you up more, Brother Ramil, because it's like, damn, I don't want to hit him up for this, hit him up, so I try to space it out. But your name comes up a lot. I mean, a lot of brothers do. It's just that some of the topics that come through, brothers don't want to debate them, or they don't want to debate a particular person, or all that kind of stuff. So I kind of have to, I have to formulate the debates because they don't always work out the way people want them to work out. I get debate suggestions from other people. I want to see this person debate this person, so I have to kind of formulate them. A little bit of work goes into the shit, man. A little bit of work.
No, definitely.
People don't understand that shit, but a little bit of work going to this shit, y'all.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Let me see. I think we got a super chat question. Let me see. What's this? Yeah, from brother. Damn, it's not coming on the boards. My shit moving slow. It's from brother Darth Pays Patzer. Good look on that $1.99 super chat. He says, SKC, why do you like to watch it burn?
People have asked me that a lot, man. It's a difficult question because part of it, I know that I have a morbid sense of humor. I know this. I'm sick. I get it. I understand it. But then there's another part of me that, like I've seen how, like different families that I used to be around here in Houston and also in California, also in Arizona. And, just seeing Black people, families together. And I've seen how the dysfunction of the surrounding Negroes, just destroyed communities and all of the positive things that happened within them. I used to see my grandfather and my grandmother do things for the said community, and it go unappreciated. And people just, they just spat on it like it was nothing. And to see their hard work just, go out the window like it's nothing. And so yeah, when I see I got like some property that got passed down to me and so forth. And I was happy when gentrification came because it was like, hey, I'm making way more money and I don't have to deal with these Negroes who used to tear up my family's stuff, who grew up with them and used to help them. So yeah, I do want to see the junk burn down. And a lot of the dysfunction that I've seen are from individuals that are living a lifestyle that is centered around crime, around wanton sex, around a lot of drug usage, and a majority of them come out of dysfunctional single parent households headed by mothers. So now, I hope that answers your question, Dark Passage.
Now, of course, me and Brother Supreme, we talk and we go back and forth on this shit because I disagree with him on this shit. Me and him have went back and forth on this many a times. We haven't went back and forth on it lately, but him and I have went back on this let it burn shit many a times, y'all. Because I don't agree with him on that shit.
Yeah, it's like in order. I really think that in order for the forest to regrow better, that sometimes it needs to be burned down to its lowest base.
Brother Stoic, good look on the 350 super chat, Brother Stoic. He says, S.K.C, are you conflating different forms of P and D?
I'm a refer to Ramil on that one. Like, what's the difference between the dudes of old that used to say how many women they used to get and all this other stuff, and how they didn't have any plan to get anybody pregnant, and the pump and dump lifestyle?
Action. I mean, the older people, obviously, they could have been saying that, but they weren't doing that. Since they breeding a lot of children out of poverty, and as we know today, millennials are having less children. So the actions speak louder than the words. The difference is today, I'm talking about having casual, responsible sex, keeping your options open, and making sex not a huge part of your life. I've said it multiple times. I only spend 7 to 10% of my time with females. Back in the day, we know that what they was caking up, spending long periods of time with each other. I'm only saying make sex a recreational part of your life, just like you would playing video games or anything else. Make the majority of your life based on productivity. So the difference between my version and their version is my version is where no matter what, you keep yourself as the number one priority in your life while keeping other people out of the legal capacity, being able to have the legal capacity to fuck you over. So I'm talking about literally practicing safe sex and remaining single. They were practicing goddamn just acting wild, bringing babies in all willy-nilly, love, you know what I mean? It's just not the same.
So you don't think that the people back then were practicing safe sex?
No, they weren't. But for not obviously they were. Obviously they were not.
Okay. And let's say, it's just a question for you. Yeah. Do you actually believe, or what percentage would you say of Black men that you truly believe will follow the pump and dump lifestyle the way that you prescribe it, with protecting themselves to the fullest?
To my all Black men all together, or to my Black men in this section who watch this type of content?
Yeah, all together.
Because they're not all hearing this message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that, but messages grow and so forth, and so I mean, what percentage would you put it at?
Well, of the ones who choose to follow if they heard this and they were to choose to follow, because a lot of them would want to go down your route too, which is marriage. But for the ones who want to choose this lifestyle and they would like to follow what I said, the percentage who will probably follow it to the T. I don't know, probably less than half.
So you say probably what?
Because it requires discipline, and just people don't have discipline in general.
Okay, so that's a good point. Now, when you say that, of the black men within black society, especially remembering that many of them come from the undisciplined single parent households, how many of them you think will actually be disciplined individuals in life? 60%.
Saying people who come from messed up households or people who come from
no, just overall. Like if we go from 2020 now on, black men, how many of them would you say percentage wise are gonna live disciplined lives?
If we keep on the trend we're doing now, it's only a very small percentage of us, and that's married and unmarried, living disciplined lives. A very small percentage of people right now are disciplined, especially black men. Discipline is a unique trait. It is a top 5 to 10 to maybe 20% of the top performing people have it. It's not married, unmarried. Discipline is something that just the small percentage of people have in general.
So I think for both of us, we're both arguing a point of a small selection of men within black society, because both of us understand that the majority are not going to be disciplined no matter what.
Okay, so but even then, I mean, so whether they're disciplined or not,
even if whether they're disciplined in marriage or they're disciplined following the pump and dump lifestyle, we're both talking about a segment of a small segment of black men. At the very most, I would say give you 15%, give me 5%, but we're still talking about 20%, while the 80 is going to continue to do what they're doing right now.
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing, man. If you slip up, you better if you practice some undisciplined act and you slip up, you still gonna be better off handling that slip up single than handling it married. I mean, because if we're talking about a small percentage when it comes to being disciplined, we're not necessarily talking about, the argument is what's better for black men in 2020. Mm-hmm. Family life or pump and dump?
Yeah, and from the model of family life that I'm talking about would be you actually planning for a child, not having mistake baby.
Well, then
so I already know that that's going to be a small percentage because people aren't that disciplined.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but yeah, I just think that there's going to be individuals that, I think they'll try the model that you state, and they may be successful at it at some point, but it only takes one.
It's like it only takes one divorce.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, day.
Oh man. Man, good debate, Ramil, man. I enjoyed it, man. I did. Hopefully next time I have a little extra for you.
It's all good, man. Come with it, man. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on the chewing, man. I'm waiting on it.
And man, let's do that exchange of information, man. Like you'll see what I'm telling you, man. You'll see when I show it to you.
I mean, that's cool too, man. I'm definitely with it, man.
Man, is Art asleep?
I don't know. He might be. I don't know. But he's on the West Coast, so it's a lot early over there where he at. I mean, it's like 9. It's like 9:45 where he at. And yeah, I forgot. My bad, brother Dre. I forgot to mention, man. Good luck on that Cash App, brother. My bad. brother Dre Raphael, man. My bad. Forgot to mention that shit. He dropped that shit like 2 hours ago. Shit.
Yeah, man. This subculture that's within Black America, man, it is piss poor, and I really don't think people see the detrimental effects of it because they're in it and they've seen it for so long. They think that it's normal, but when you go out in other societies, man, it's it's like that's why I was showing the data on children that grow up in 2-parent households in different cultures. I mean, the majority of them grow up with both parents, except for in the Black community. That sucks.
Yeah, we got hold on a second, brother Ramil. We got a $20 super chat from brother Young Bone. Good look on that. He says he was once married March 9th. We divorced, and I'm young, 27 years old, no kids. My ex called me today and sent me pics, and she want me to go over to hit, and she taken. Did you go?
Yeah, he went over there. Yeah, he went got him a piece. Went over there, got him a piece.
Go ahead, brother. Ramil.
I wouldn't have done that during the corona, man.
Yeah, man. You don't know who she had breathing. You don't know who she had breathing on her.
You don't even have dudes showing discipline during the coronavirus.
Like I said, majority of people are just not disciplined anyway, man. But
because you smash, and guess what? She breathing on you, coughing on you, all that shit.
Protect that, man. Like I said, the reason why to pump it up is better. Once again, you're talking about discipline, but somebody just pointed that out. Being solo, it only requires discipline of yourself. In the marriage construct, you got to rely on the other person being just as disciplined as you.
Yeah, but a lot of that comes in the choice, and one of the
can't control another human, man.
No, you're absolutely right, but you can look at their habits. People's habits
you can't control.
Don't just change.
Yeah, but people's minds can change. That's why most females file for people can wake up one day.
Come from the mind.
Like I said, sometimes. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, good news, brother Young Bone. Good look on another $10 on the super chat. He said, "Forget marriage. These females ain't loyal." He said, "I didn't go. I hung up on the call." Good for you, man. Exes are exes for a reason, man.
And that's one of the things, man. It's like within like the community. Yeah, if you're choosing from the community in a lot of occasions, I'm going to say the majority. I'm not going to say all. But yeah, if you're choosing from that pool, yeah, of course you're going to have a lot of problems. You would be hard set to find marriage material within that pool. They don't even know how that works.
I mean, while that is very true, I mean,
they've never seen, the majority of them have never seen a working model of it, and then the ones that have, a lot of them, well, not all of them, but some of them don't respect it, and they are trying to fit in with subcultural values that they never benefited from at all. They actually benefited from a 2-parent household, and then they want to jump into a subculture that destroys everything that their parents tried to build for them. So yeah, when you have a group of individuals that don't value tradition and legacy, of course you're going to have issues with marriage. That's why it's so low within the Black community.
Well, if y'all don't any more questions,
that's why it would make sense to be pumping up in that if you want to work from that pool. Yeah.
I mean, look. I understand. Yes, amongst the pool of choices amongst black females, I know is very fucked. But the truth is, all races. I mean, we gotta start acting like you're not risking this with other races as well. Like, there's black men getting fucked over in divorce court by all races of females.
Yeah, but not at the same clip.
That's because that's not who they're marrying. They're marrying black females majority of the time. So
correct.
It's going to be mostly black females. I mean, and like I said, I'm not saying that black females offer a better choice at all. I'm just saying that marriage in general, that construct puts the man at risk no matter what race female he chooses.
Okay, but you know, a number that proves what I'm saying so far is, and I hate to put it that way because it's difficult, but the grass greener type of thing. Why do you have more? Why do you have close to 600,000 more married black men than black women? Because they married out.
Well, I mean, like I said, bro, well, hold on. You saying that there's 600,000 more married black men than black women because they married out?
Correct.
So what percentage of black men are married to black females?
32 to 29.
So 32% of black men are married to black females?
No, 32% of black men are married. Only 29% of black women are married. That 3% makes up 600,000 black men who are married to non-black women.
But you're saying, I'm trying to say but you just said that they make up 600,000 more marriages because they're married to other groups of people.
Yeah, other non-black women.
So that makes up all of the extra. So the stats say that more black men are married out than black females. It's not necessarily saying there's more marriages amongst black men because they're married out, because they're saying that more of the races who married out black men.
It's both. There's more married black men overall, okay, and there's more married black men to other races of women.
Okay, all right. I was trying to get a further understanding.
Because and if it was a problem, then those would be like, oh, it didn't last, it's the divorce, blah blah blah. Those numbers would go down and they wouldn't even count. But they're over 500,000. So it's like they must be finding more success in those outer realms than black women are.
Well, obviously that's true. We're way better at interracial. We're way better at interracially dating than black women. I know that for sure. We definitely have more success dating out for sure.
Yeah, well, brother Young Bone dropped another $10 on the super chat. Good looking. Got that money tonight. He says she was a Latina Puerto Rican. I don't know why I married a fatherless chick in the first place, but lesson learned.
And you see what I'm saying, Ramil? You see how that sits to my argument?
Well, it goes both ways. She also said she was Latina. So
okay, but what else?
And fatherless.
Mm-hmm. So it's like you didn't. I'm not saying the dude did. I'm not trying to get on him, but I'm saying the whole idea of not leaving the subculture behind. Dude, it's like if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do the whole married thing,
you kind of said you talking about the pool of which I agree, but you talking about the pool of black women as if you were kind of trying to point out that she was a Latina. That's what I'm saying. What I was trying to say, which kind of proves my point, is that all races of females can substitute to the same shit.
Right. And I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is the leaving of the subculture would tell you, no, I'm not going to substitute a Becky, a Latina, or whatever that's in the same subculture of a broken family than these black women are. No, I'm not going to build with that.
Oh, yeah, understood. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead, man, and shut it on down. No questions are coming in, so I'm gonna let you brothers go. Any parting shots before y'all peel out?
Nah, man, I give it up to Ramil, man. Thanks for debating me. I enjoyed it. I look forward to any future ones, man. And best to you, bro. I enjoy it. Have fun.
Yeah, facts. Best to you as well. I had fun as well. Definitely was very competitive. But Prophet thought, man, we ain't gonna retire my jersey, man. What we gonna do? We gonna have a ceremony or something, or what you gonna have? Or we gonna have like some sort of
Well, I can't retire your jersey, man, till you say you done debating. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I get to 10, if I get 10-0, we might have to do something, man. But we're gonna see.
What you got to do, Ramil, is you got to get everybody that you debated to sign your jersey.
Yeah, crazy.
I'll put my stamp on there, man.
Oh man, long as you coming up here debating, long as you come up here debating, I mean, Jersey's still here. You still rocking.
That's true.
Still rocking it. So
man, Young Bone dropping it tonight, man.
Yeah, shout out to Young
Bone got that money, man.
You need to interview that brother and to let him tell his story, man.
Fact, but
absolutely. Young Bone about to get a wrench up on this motherfucker as soon as I scroll back down. Young Bone getting a wrench.
Yeah, he a wrench on my channel too as well. He shout out to Young G Bone.
As soon as I can get my damn go down. Young Bone will be getting a wrench on this. Gotta give him a wrench. You got many people on your shit who don't deserve one. They got one, so he dropping coin like that. I got the wrench to brother. Got the wrench to brother. Well, anyway, he says after divorce, he said, I feel relief, no more nagging, and I notice females are never happy at all.
That's facts, man. Never happy, never satisfied, ever.
Man.
The only thing a female wants, what a female wants is what she doesn't have at that particular time.
Man, X, can I ask Ramil one more question before we cut off?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. And Young G Bone, you are now a moderator, my brother.
Man, Ramil, do you ever want to have children of your own or pass on a legacy, and if so, like how would you go about that?
As of now, no, I don't want to have children, and my legacy is not based on offspring. It's based on what I do in my life. That's what people remember you for. They don't remember you for your kids. And you talking about lineage. If I ever do change my mind and want to have children, I will use a surrogate route so that I have maintained full legal control. As of right now, I still can't see that happening because these kids are too fucking bad. But if that was the case in 2020 and beyond, I would use a surrogate so I would have full legal control on the upbringing of that child.
Okay. Well, anyway, X, man, enjoyed it. Y'all take care. Peace out. Thank you,
peace,
chat.
My brother.
Appreciate it, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
My man. And we just got another $10 super chat from my man AJ, my man, seeing red, support and respect to all the bros on the panel. That's my brother right there, man. Good look on that super chat. Always supporting the channel. That's my man right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my man.
Facts.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Once again, brother Ramil, man. I mean, you're always willing to come up here, man, and duke it out and square off.
Oh yeah, man. I get in the trenches.
I appreciate it, brother. I
get in the trenches, man.
I appreciate it, brother. I would be, like I said, I would be hitting you up more, man, but I try to space it out because, like I said, your name come up in the pool a lot. So, I try to space it out.
It's all good, man. I understand you gotta keep it fresh, So I definitely understand, man. And I know people, they might get tired of seeing me coming up here and going Michael Jordan on these niggas, but you know, it's cool.
Well, see, the reason why I do it, because you know how Negroes are. They're man, you're biased. It's got Ramil
exactly,
up there.
yeah, exactly.
So I try to space it out. I try to make it, try to put other people in there, man.
I got you.
I try to make it seem diverse, because no matter what you do, folks always got.
I was gonna have something to say.
Yeah, they're always complaining no matter what you do. You space it out. They complain about the people who debate, and they complain about the topics. They complain about the time. They complain about the timekeeper, complain about the rules, complain about the chat. This is just a bunch of complaining. So I just kind of let it rock out, man, and see where it goes, man. But once again, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You always come through. You've yet to say no to a debate. I get a lot of no's. You've yet to say no. You one of the few people.
The thing is that I'm always gonna come through a challenge, man, because the thing is that like a lot of people like to hide behind, like they like to talk big shit. They want to hide behind the veil. Like I'm gonna stand on what I say, especially in a respected arena. I just don't hide. A lot of people that they don't want to have their ideas and views tested. You know what I mean?
I respect that, man. I respect that, brother. I do. But I got a lot of respect for you anyway, man. You support this channel, man, and y'all need to go down there and check out Brother Ramil's channel. Y'all probably already all subscribe to him anyway, but if you're not, get on down there, man. Subscribe to Brother Ramil, man. Your black ass might just learn something. My man, I appreciate it, my brother. I do, man. I
no problem, man. No problem.
My man.
Facts.
Peace.
All right, peace out. Thanks.
Is my timekeeper still in the house? Brother Art, are you still there, my brother?
Yeah, I'm still here for the brothers, man.
Oh, okay, my man. I always appreciate you, Art. I know I be hitting you up at the last minute too. And you always come through for me too, man. I appreciate you. But you already know, man, you royalty up here. So
thank you,
you already know what it is, man. But I appreciate you coming through, brother Art, man, because you always, I get to working and I forget to start hitting people up and all that kind of shit, man. And I know I always hit you up at the last minute, man. And you always come through for me, brother, man. And I appreciate you for that, my brother.
Yeah, I made time. I was cooking dinner while I was taking time. So
okay.
That's why I kept him off. I was like, what's wrong with my
I appreciate it, man. I do, my brother. I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah.
I
think BMT should have been in this debate, man.
Well, I've been getting a lot of requests for BMT. I might do a debate on Saturday. I don't know. It all depends on when I'm done working.
Because I want to get back
early enough. Go ahead.
The debate to be taking place without young and old dynamics in there. They were both the same generation, so they had wiggle room. They had to go straight to the points.
Yeah,
I really want the debate, but maybe a part 2 or something.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I try to make it as even as possible, but it's not always that way. I mean, a lot of people agree on certain topics, so they don't make for good debates. So I try to make the debate so people are kind of opposed, somewhat opposed, and some people just flat out say they don't want to debate a particular topic. Or they say I don't want to debate a particular person, so I run into a lot of that where they're like, oh man, I don't want to debate him. I run into some of that from time to time, but for the most part, man, I try to make it work, man.
Because millennials right now, they're almost 40, so they should be having hard stances against each other now.
Yeah,
you should be able to sit back and say nothing and watch them go at it.
Yeah, they're getting older. They probably didn't know that was going to happen, but they're getting older. They are getting older.
Yeah,
yes, they are.
Appreciate being a part of history, man, and you know, every time you call, I always make time to do what I have to do, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, brother. You know I do, man. You already know. You already know. My man. Peace.
Peace to you.
Yeah. Good debate tonight. You know, both of those brothers. I have a lot of respect for both of those brothers. It was the debate was very damn, what the hell was that just flew across the goddamn screen? Y'all see that shit? Some shit just flew past. Goddamn mosquito up in this motherfucker or something. But yeah, the debate was very good, man. I liked the I liked the way it went, man. Even the rapid fire part was kind of you know, was different from the others, man. It seemed like every debate I have has like a different kind of spin to it. I guess it's based on the personalities, or how, you know, the topic, but each debate has its own little nuance, man, its own little particulars to it, man. And this debate was, it was unique just like the others. You know, it was unique just like the others. And it was good though. I mean, they both made good solid points, you know, and it was a good debate, man. One of the better ones that's been up here. I would say, you know, I don't know what y'all think, but I would say it was one of the better ones up here that we've had thus far, you know. So I don't know, maybe we'll those two will throw down again at some point over something else. I can kind of see that one coming on the horizon. But anyway, a few programming notes. Y'all already know Thursday night is DXL night, and tomorrow night we will have the one and only Obsidian will be in the house tomorrow night. Yeah, brother Obsidian's going to be here. The show is titled The Book of Obsidian. Those of you know Obsidian as
I am the voice of the everyday brother.
Yeah, old brother Obsidian will be in the house tomorrow. Being Obsidian, of course, you know, he's going to be here tomorrow. He's going to be talking about his new book that he's just penned. I believe it's done. I think he's just got a few editing and publishing things going on, but the book is done. So he'll be here tomorrow talking about that. And talking all things YouTube media and all things Obsidian. So have your black behinds here tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. And the brother Obsidian will be here tomorrow live. So you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be good because, you know, Obsidian always comes, and it's always a good show when Obsidian's here, man. I mean, because, you know, Obsidian is Obsidian, you know, so he gonna come. He'll be here tomorrow. You know, we're gonna do a little impromptu interview. You know, I'm gonna be asking him about the book and all the things he's been doing, and some of his stances, and you know how he's kind of evolved and changed over the course of the years. You know, etc., etc. So make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow night. Don't miss that one. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap this up, man. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. I appreciate all these good folks right here in this here chat room, man. My moderators always doing what they got to do. But most importantly, man, I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man. Showing up tonight, watching us, spending some time with us. It's always good, man, to have you folks up here, man. Be up here with you good folks. You know, it's always good to be up here with you good folks. It just is. Yeah. Now, what I need y'all to do now is to get your black behinds down to Facebook. The Facebook page is Proper Thought Series on Facebook. Profit of Thought, one word series. The next word, it's a community page. That's our main page. Go ahead, like the page, share the page, follow the page. You also can catch up with old X on the page from time to time. You can drop me a line, and I'm guaranteed to get back to you within 24 and 168 hours. Also, while you're on Facebook, go ahead and check out the Profit of Thought series fan group page. That's the Profit of Thought series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get accepted quick. Absolutely, especially now, because I am a moderator on there. I am an admin. So if you have any problems getting into the group, just drop me a line. I'll make sure you get up in there. Don't worry about it. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Profit of Thought. Leave out the series on Instagram. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. You guaranteed to get a follow back. And you know we always end the night like this. Get your black behinds down to Twitter. The Twitter handle is at, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start putting those things on here. You know, jazz it up. Put some of those things up here. So I don't have to say this every night. Just put the shit up here. Yeah, that's what I want to start doing, I think. But anyway, get your black behinds down to Twitter. The Twitter handle is at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Go ahead. Follow us on Twitter. Because if you don't, I will come down into grandma's basement and haunt you in your dreams. Then once I leave out of grandma's basement, I'm going right upstairs and I'm going to haunt your black ass grandmammy in her dreams too. So once again, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, but I also want to thank my debaters, Brother Ramil Amyr, and my man, Brother Supreme King Coon, and also my timekeeper, my man, Brother Art Nostyle. Y'all need to get down there, subscribe to all of their channels, man, because all of these brothers are decent brothers, and I'm sure you'll find something down there on their channel that you like. Also, before we go, I want y'all folks to be safe out there, man. You know, I mean, you know, we get up here, we laugh and joke and talk all kinds of bullshit, but man, there's some shit out there, man, that's killing folks. And you good folks right here, I want to see y'all here every week. All right? I want to see y'all here every week. Even the people who don't like my ass, even if you don't like me, I still want to see you up here every week, man. Because it would bother me to know that folks that come here and fucked around and caught some shit that took their life. That would bother me. All right? So like I said, man, keep yourself safe out there, man. You know, even after this shit kind of levels out and blows over, still keep yourself safe. Keep yourself healthy. Keep the people you care about healthy, your wife, your kids, your whoever, man, and anybody else you care about, man. You know, stay safe out there, man, because we are in some troubling times, man, and it's crazy out there, man. And I want y'all good folks to be all right, man, regardless of anything else. Like I said, even if you somebody that don't like my ass, I still don't want your black ass to die. All right? All right. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind. Peace, folks.
So, a community is where you control your beliefs, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 million. 3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago, and his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hit his sirens and looked to the rear and his cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. But he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God, he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. But all your failures and your Rolls Royce and your PhD didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper and read over and over? See white families now. You take the thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying? That's like cops. Got my mouth one funny. I said the back of the head. Why do you think black cops are better? Think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No. They got enough sense to know that white and I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we were not tolerant. Now, if we were organized, which is hard to organize people who are just run crazy, you don't love crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that any time a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license, just like you to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store boy or a private detective. Now, how do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take the economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young, and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, we call it for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it start on Thanksgiving with the table. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happened now? Fifth Avenue, Georgia, Chisholm over, Western House. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so badly.
The officer's code for one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind,
Only from the Prophet of Thought Series Media.
Open your mind.